goes the Daverhood. Good morning, everybody. Dave here with a brand new episode of Dave's Gone By. We've been doing this for 21 and a half years, ladies and gentlemen, every week, first on terrestrial radio, later on college radio, sometimes on internet radio, and then for the past couple of years, we've been doing this live on Facebook on Saturday mornings. It's called Dave's Gone By, and it features me, Dave Lefkowitz, my wonderful wife, and all of you guys watching at home, or actually maybe not at home. Maybe you're at a coffee shop, maybe you're in a car somewhere. Wherever you're watching or listening and enjoying, welcome to you on this Saturday, May 11th. Notice how I casually glanced at my paper to know what day it is. Saturday, May 11th, 2024. It is our 943rd episode of the program, and we're calling it the Full MONT. Full MONT. Not because I started the show showing everyone on Facebook my enormous cock. No. It's because we have a special guest coming. We have Rabbi Saul Solomon coming. We have all our usual unusuals, as we like to put it. And that's what we do. It's a mix of humor and talk and interviews and nutty, crazy stuff and personal opinion and so forth. So let me get to let me tell you what we're going to be doing on the show, and then my wife and I will yak a little bit, but as we do, to start things off. But I'll start with the guest first. There is a woman who is not only a cabaret chanteuse, if you will, a songstress, a singer, a lover of the great American songbook, and not just the old stuff, but the new stuff too. And she's been performing in cabaret on and off for about 15, 20 years, I believe. And she's going to be back. She's going to be performing in about 2 weeks. I think I have the information there. It's May 22nd, so you have about 10 days to buy your tickets to see the show Girl Singer, and it's by Carolyn Montgomery, our guest in the Daverhood. That's why we're calling this the Full MONT for Carolyn Montgomery. And Girl Singer she's channeling, not necessarily impersonating, but she is channeling the style and the songs of Rosemary Clooney, if you know who she was from, Come On to My House and what the hell were her other songs? She was in White Christmas. I should have looked this up better, but
I'll ask my team. She won't read a book. What are the most famous songs that Rosemary Clooney has sung? This Old House, Mambo Italiano, Half as Much, Hey There.
Oh, Hey There! I thought it was Patty Page.
Come on to my house. Bacia Me, Mambo Italiano, Tenderly, Half as Much,
Whoa.
Hey There, This Old House, and Sway.
I thought Sway was the Rolling Stones. Go figure. But anyway, Rosemary Clooney had this long career, difficult career personally, difficult person personally. But Carolyn Montgomery is obviously channeling both the best of her and telling her story in this new cabaret show that she's doing called Girl Singer, that she is bringing back to 54 Below in just a week and a half. If you want to know more about Carolyn Montgomery, because not only is she a cabaret person, but she is the co-founder and I believe the executive director of something called the American Songbook Association. Bacciami, Bacciayu.
Bacciami,
Piccini, my little fish. Yeah.
Piccini.
Or Pischini.
That's weird. What is that? Why is she singing?
It's a nonsense song. It's a fun song, and the only reason I know that is because Mickey Katz parodied it. I swear to you.
On Dr. Pimento?
No, Pimento rarely played Mickey Katz. My mother had, or has still, Mickey Katz 45s on Capitol Records. I used to play them all the time, and it was Mickey Katz, who is the father of Joel Grey. Yeah, and it would be like, Abacha-me, Abacha-you, and everyone goes, Mashige, which is this beautiful, everybody goes crazy. But he was parodying the Rosemary Clooney song, Patch Me, Patch-me, Patch-me, Patch-you, da-da-da. But the only version I know is the Mickey Katz version, Patch-me.
Did her version mean something? Or was she just having a stroke?
Both.
You get the look.
Oh! I didn't even get the real rep. I just thought that was straight up funny. But Joyce was going meta here because we have, I don't even know where the hell we were, where they were giving these out. They're refrigerator magnets that have to do with signs that you might be having a stroke. I honestly thought I'd have one this week, but this is, what does it even say on there? Normal. Well, never. Anormal. Interesting that they use anormal as opposed to abnormal.
I guess A is the medical term without normality.
So as opposed to ab, which is a negative thing, anormal just means...
Remember abnormal?
Abnormal from Young Frankenstein, sure.
Yeah.
And then there's normal hand motion, and then a normal hand motion. So if you see one side of my face drooping, and not because I always talk one-sided, because I was born with cleft palate and hair lip. So literally, this is all fake. This is all fixed back when I was, a child. And so, I don't have that symmetrical feature thing that makes people beautiful. There's one side of my nose is this way, my lip is split here, and when I talk, I can't talk with an even mouth. My mouth naturally goes like this, and that's all you're going to think about the whole rest of the show, is watching how my mouth abnormally moves when I talk. But anyway, if my talking goes from this to, well, thank you for watching the program. Now I just sound like Georgie Jessel.
Yes.
And nobody even knows who Georgie Jessel.
Georgie Jessel imitation.
Giving a toast to all of you here in the Daverhood, where Carolyn Montgomery is gonna be. I mean, I don't know if that's Georgie Jessel at all, but it has a hint of Jessel. It's Jessel-esque, if you will. So, and I'm sure you will. Carolyn Montgomery, she's going to be talking about her Rosemary Clooney show as well as her career in cabaret and of founding an organization that is dedicated to bringing, and you will like this, classic American songbook songs into not only schools, but assisted livings and nursing homes, to places that can't afford to bring in concert people, that won't be able to bring in a real cabaret star, if you will. They'll bring them there as like a public service, and people will be exposed to Jimmy Van Heusen and the Sondheims and the Gershwins and the Rodgers and Harts and so forth, plus more modern writers too. Anyway, Carolyn Montgomery will be with us in a little less than an hour, when she will be chatting with the one, the only, the Jewish Rabbi Sal Solomon, founder and spiritual leader of Temple Sons of Bitches in Great Neck, New York. And, Rabbi Sal has been doing a lot of our interviews over the years. He's also done the last couple of rabbinical reflections for us. He doesn't have a sermon today. I guess you can count yourselves lucky. But he will be chatting with Carolyn Montgomery on Dave's Gone By later in the broadcast. Also, we will have Greeley Times, because my wife and I lived in Greeley, Colorado for about 13 years, and while there, I took it into my head to, I'm conflating and confusing two different segments that have to do with Colorado. Greeley Times is about a column in the Greeley Tribune newspaper, a real actual newspaper, where they take information that they get, public record, from the police department of phone calls that come into the police dispatch in Northern Co. The weirdest, funniest, most ridiculous calls of people asking for assistance, well, they strip out the identifiers, it goes in the papers, and we take the funniest ones of those and share them with you on Greeley Times. And then the other Colorado thing is our Colorado Limerick of the Damned, where we will go to Adena, Colorado. A cousin of mine was married to a termagant named Adena for many, many years, but this has nothing to do with her. This is a place, a ghost town, that no longer exists, but did for about 40, 50 years. We'll tell you about it. And I will do an absolutely disgusting, disgraceful poem about Adena, Colorado, as our Colorado Limerick of the Damned. We'll also make time for Bunyan Watch. This is where I will in a sexy way, pull the sock off of my foot and show my foot on camera, just so you can marvel at the glory, the majesty, the wonder that is my bunion. We've been doing this for several months, and to date, my bunion has stayed the same. It has not changed color. It has not grown appreciably, or even inappreciably,
Has it had a stroke?
appreciably. It has not had a stroke. Sometimes I stroke it if I'm feeling a little randy, but no, I will show you the bunions on at least one of my feet, probably both of them, in bunion watch.
Why
This
are
is
potatoes there?
potatoes here just for being potato. We have chickens, of course, and Pooey is with us because it's been a shitty week. So, and story time. So we haven't done this in a while, or well, a couple of weeks anyway. Ladies and gentlemen, story time is where I find a book, and this came by almost accidentally many years ago when we were on college radio, and we were having the car. The car was in just having the tires rotated or whatever the hell they do to cars, and in the waiting area of this gas station cum fix-it shop. What do they call it? Mechanics.
It was a fix it, just a mechanic shop.
Mechanic shop, yeah. They had places, since people are sitting there wasting time, and this was before everybody just sat on their phones all day. Well, actually it was. It's just I wasn't sitting on my phone all day. I still had a flip phone. But they had things for the kids to read, and you could pick up the paper, the Greeley
Where else do
Tribune.
you go with your kids but leave them at the mechanic?
Well,
okay,
no.
children, Mechanic Dave is going to watch you while mommy goes shopping.
Oh, that'd be cool. But no, honestly, moms would bring their, and the car's up on hydraulics for an hour. How do you keep the kids? And oh, look, there's a book.
Yeah.
Right. And there would be popular mechanics.
Oh, yeah.
Just a pile of incredibly random
Like a
things.
doctor's office.
Yeah. But unlike
things people leave and don't want anymore, yeah.
What? Things people leave and they just, instead of throwing it out or going to a library which won't take books anymore.
Not a 75-year-old Time magazine.
Right. Well, doctor's offices, no. They keep current. They've got Red Book. They've got Time magazine.
They have a lot of magazines that are produced to sell products.
That too.
Yeah.
Nurses Journal 3 and Viro products or whatever. I mean, yeah, they're fine. But the gas station, all their stuff, except for the daily newspaper, was, 20, 40, 60 years old. Highlights magazines.
The guy who owned it was a square dancer, so that tells you
What?
He and his wife were famous square dancers in the town. They were square dancers.
Square or line?
No, square.
Square, yeah. I'm vaguely remembering. And he had the squinty eye guy. Oh, I hope he's okay. He was a good guy.
He was a good man.
But I'm there in the gas station area, waiting for the final stuff to be done on the car, and I notice a book, and I wish I kept it. It's probably gave it away or threw it out, but it was an actual, real, almost young adult book. I would say age group would have been 8 to 10 or 12, of a cow for Hansel. A cow. First of all, the title got me immediately. And then on the cover of this book was a cow, a drawing of a cow, and then a young tow-haired boy in lederhosen. And I'm like, oh, I need to see this book. And I look at it, and it really is. It's like pre-both wars Germany of this poor kid, and with a poor but loving and religious and whatever family that is really hard up for money. They work hard, they're farmers, and all the little boy, all he wants is to get the family a cow. And what he goes through, he works real hard, and he goes through that biblical thing. Remember when, was it Rachel and Leah or something like that? The guy works for the farm, or he works for this guy for 7 years.
But then they give him some sick cow or something. They give him some kind of
they give him the wrong bride. They cheat him.
They give him like a chicken or a goat.
So this happens to Hansel. He thinks he's going to get a great cow, and instead they give him a goat, which gives him milk, so it's helpful, sort of.
He wants a cow. That's the title of the book.
He wants his cow.
That's the title of the book.
Anyway, and when he didn't get the cow, he turned moody. But
a cow from Hansel.
Let's show the cover.
Hold on. the children's book, A Cow for Hansel. Chocolate cow. They don't even.
What? They don't even. What?
No.
Was it Cow for Hans or Hans? I think it was Hansel. They gotta have it. And the book wasn't from like 1910. It was from like 1960 something. And I don't remember the author. Oh, you found it? You found it? Yes!
That's the cow we wanted, not the cow we got.
I'm gonna buy one of these on eBay again, just to have it. A Cow for Hansel. I have to read this on the air.
Yes,
and I
do
did
it again. Maybe there's an anniversary version. Maybe there would be like a chicken for Frida.
Or even oh yes. Or if there's a director's cut where they put in like early drafts and the stuff that the writer, who's the writer here? Something with it. I can't.
I'll get you here. I'll get.
Yeah, I gotta get my glasses.
It's
by
Ernie Bolger.
Was it Bolger?
Ernie Holier, Hol.
Oh, Ernest Holier. Yes. A Cow.
It's 96 pages in English. Yeah. There's no customer review of it and no details.
It took weeks, but I read the whole thing on the air, cover to cover. I think about 15, 20 minutes each day of reading A Cow for Hansel.
Oh, you guess when it was published?
64?
January 1st, 1967.
That late?
Yeah.
Wow. I was already 3 years old when this book was published.
There's only one photo.
Yeah, well, there would be. Well, it's not a picture book. It's
Oh, he wrote A Song of Courage.
Oh, of course.
Shoes for Daniel.
Did you say Jews for Daniel? Or,
Shoes.
Oh, Shoes for Daniel.
A Song of Courage.
Uh-huh.
Shoes for Daniel.
Right.
Rescue at Sunrise and Other Stories.
Yeah. All right.
Steve's Night of Silence and Other Stories.
God. Steve, young Steve was raped.
Sea otter, endangered animal.
Wait, what?
At the forest edge.
What about the sea otter? Where's that one? I need that. Wait, there's Shoes for Daniel. Okay. The Southern Sea Otter.
What's the Night of Silence? That one's kind of scary.
That's gonna be like it's. He goes into Elie Wiesel turf right there.
That's scary though. Like why?
Well, I mean, some dark things going on in the book.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Talented Writer was a good book, but it was just so ridiculous that he wrote a book about this German boy.
Oh, Lone Brown Gull and Other Stories. Oh, that's sad.
Yeah. There's a certain sense of solitude and loneliness in this man's books. Ernest Holier.
This one has one. Steve's Night of Silence and Other Stories has 1 star. Let's see.
1 star.
Nobody wrote. I know 5 stars. Nobody wrote anything about it. They just gave the stars.
I mean, I don't think they've been published and republished.
It's $8. It doesn't say what it's about. I'd love to see. It doesn't say what it's about.
Well, we'll see if we can grab a copy of it for $8. We can buy one and read it.
Somebody liked it.
Or we can see if any of the local libraries in their chain has them. Remember when libraries actually kept books?
What are books?
Yeah, if you wanted a book.
David, I write them, but they're ebooks now, sweetie. I don't think I have books, but like even moving my office, if I would have all my books, my real set of books, I have a lot, but a lot of stuff is not in this state. But we mostly do things on ebook now.
Yeah, but half the things at library, and I worked in a library for like 25, 30 years in different capacities. And half the things libraries do now is they make sure to weed out books.
Hans looks about 45. I mean, David, look at him. Is that supposed to be a child? I mean, Hansel looks about.
I hit the Amazon button.
Okay, there. You got fingers like a cuckoo.
No, but that's all they do.
Here, David, just.
Well, libraries don't buy books.
Doesn't he look about 45, or he looks at least 45.
Let me see if I can get.
He's taller than the cow.
He's older than the cow.
He's 8, right?
I think a little older than that. I think he's like 10 or something, but still.
That's not a 10-year-old child, but it's like a 45-year-old man.
Well, it could be a child with progeria.
No. It's like, I don't think he would be able to work.
But that's the thing, remember when I was growing up. If
from paperback, $75 a cow for Hansel. We can get The Night in the Forest for $7.50. Why is a cow for Hansel?
Is that from America? I mean, where they, or is it maybe 75 baht from Thailand?
Options.
Yeah.
There's only one, and it's $75. You should have saved that book.
I know, right?
$75.
Well, notice nobody's buying it
No,
at that price. They can put any price on it that they want. They can make it $3,400, but it doesn't mean somebody's going to
and now I
buy
have
it.
all these pictures of cows.
Oh, good.
No.
But like when I was growing up, I would go to the library just for fun, or I was working in a library even in my early teens. One of the great things is you'd see the shelves, and if there was a book that was 40 years old, it was there. And you looked at it, and the book was there if you wanted to read it, a children's book or any book. Now, and I tell you this as someone who was working in a library just a couple of years ago. A book is on the shelf and it doesn't really circulate for more than a year and a half. It's gone. They don't even leave one copy on the shelf. They'll buy 50 copies of the latest book by J.K. Rowling or whoever's on the bestseller list.
Paperbacks, the ladies like. Those lady paperbacks.
Right. No, they'll buy, or if they're in hardcover, they will buy 10 or 15 or 20 so that the waiting list doesn't go on for months and months and months. And then they'll have to sell or get rid of 19 of those 20 copies.
Where do they go?
Where do they go? Where do they go?
I
think a lot of them are pulped, or they may go because they can't go to like Barnes and Noble because their library they've been turned into library books with all the packaging and everything. It's tragic.
Let me ask my computer. That's sad. I would like an old library book. I like books. Where do old library books go?
Joyce is checking out her phone. Where do old library books go? Library nursing homes, perhaps. Library assisted livings, where the books. They're good, but their spines are starting to curve.
Your glasses. You have your glasses.
No, I haven't.
Here.
Most are eventually united with their owners. What? Oh, with owners like maybe. I guess libraries have sales.
Oh yeah.
Library book sales,
That's smart.
When they're not bought, they just go literally into a dumpster. I've seen this. I mean, thousands and thousands of dollars worth of books. Some of them ostensibly perhaps rare. The library say, hey, if nobody buys it, boom, it's dumpster. And it's not as if the library keeps one copy for the shelves or even deep storage. So if somebody wants it, is it no?
Says they decide on publishing date, frequency of circulation, community interest, and new material.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I'm not gonna. I won't say where, but I work at a university that just spent millions of dollars building a lovely new library, right? And it is lovely. I mean, they haven't finished the front yet. You have to walk half a mile to get to it. But the building itself is lovely, and it's room after room and study rooms and some open spaces and classrooms. There's hardly any books. I mean, they got it, but where are the books?
They don't have. It's mostly ebooks, David.
I know, and it's all on one level. It's not like they're keeping hundreds and hundreds of important archived book and law books and medical books and fiction and that. It's just like it's more of a conference meeting place than what we would have thought of as a library.
Well, when we left Colorado, I gave a lot of your theater books to the library, so they're in circulation for people.
I'm proud of that.
I mean, I think that's really nice.
Yeah. I kind of wish we had them so we had my books back.
But a letter acknowledging your donation, so those books will outlive you.
Well, because also I took like a $2.5 million tax deduction on our last taxes. No, I mean, I like the fact that the books are there for students if they want. If somebody wants to read Phaedra by who did write who was that friend? Jean Wheel or something like that. Fine, it's there for them. As opposed to we would have put them in a dumpster. Instead, since it's a specialty collection, it was all plays, and about 400 books. It's killing me to talk about this now. What?
How are you feeling?
I'm feeling fine. Why?
I want to put a thing: happy, blessed, sad, thankful, in love, grateful, excited, crazy, fantastic, festive, amused, relaxed. I think you're relaxed today.
I'm never relaxed.
No, chill.
No, I'm never chill. I'm still roiling. I'm feeling pumped. I'm pumped. That's how I feel.
Energized.
Yes. Also because I got like a 2-hour nap yesterday, plus I slept a lot.
Because I was working, I didn't feel good. I was trying to work on something, and it took me longer. And then we had the Instacart thing with Mom's like food, and so she was talking to me, and then I'm like, and I'm trying to do, and I'm slow because I don't feel well. And then I look up, and you began napping about 7:30. It was 9:30.
It was 9:30.
Like, I thought it was
went
8
out.
o'clock in my head, and I looked and I was like, my phone's not right. The time's not right.
Oh.
And I looked on the computer. I'm like, no, it's
right. I just started sleeping. Because I'm not one of those people who takes like a 20-minute or a 40-minute cat nap and then like, okay, get up rest of the day. I nap. I'm down for like 2.5 hours, and then I get up and go do. But if I do it too late, it can be obviously somewhat problematic. I'm like, ooh, I just woke up from 2 hours of sleep. I'm going to work for an hour and a half and then go back to sleep. It doesn't, it's what I do, but it doesn't always work out so well. Anyway, what was I saying? So books, library. Oh, let me get this phlegm out of my throat.
I'll make you. I'm texting.
Excuse me. But how did I get on that subject in the first place? A Cow for Hansel. So that was the thing. I read this book chapter by chapter over probably 3 or 4 months as part of the Dave's Gone By show. And it was fun to read. And of course I would read, but also make little snide or mocking comments or fun comments, because that's what the show is all about. Since then, I haven't read a book even close to that length. But we have done some children's books, some other books, some magazines, some other things that I can be playful about, or sometimes Rabbi Saul Solomon does the honors. But today, I'm going to do the honors with a book. We're going to do another pretty short book here. Going to try and get through it all today. Yeah, right? Oh, yeah. Gotta mention that too. So here's the book, ladies and gentlemen. It was the title that really grabbed me immediately. Sam Bangs and Moonshine. This is a children's book, and 2 of those words probably shouldn't be known by children. Sam Bangs and Moonshine, written and illustrated by Evelyn Ness. And it's like a Peabody? Oh, it's a Caldecott Medal winner. So, well, hear me. I love hearing me.
No, I was trying to do, I did this.
Yeah, Joyce just posted a reminder that I'm on the air.
My show finally is sunny Saturday. After some rainy ones, it says David feels energized. And then whenever I click on this, it's like life. You start talking.
Oh, cool. But Joyce is also making a point. The irony.
I'll make you tea too.
You want me to tea?
I'll make you tea
when bring one for the rabbi.
When you interview your guest at 10 as your guest.
Yes. So when Rabbi Saul comes on to talk to,
what do you want tea?
I'll nurse a cup of tea. Okay. But Joyce is and we joked about this last Saturday.
Oh goodness.
That living in Baltimore, Maryland, one of the jokes has been Baltimore is known for rain. That's one of the things. This is known for a lot of rainy, kind of gloomy days, even though we also get a lot of sunshine. And the irony, though, is that most of the time, since we've been living here,
yeah, we've had rain.
Well,
oh no, not rain.
No, they do. Most days are quite lovely. They're sunny. We have winter. We have all 4 seasons, but your average day is perfectly nice, right? It's almost like New York weather. But every Saturday that I've been on here, for some reason, Saturday is the day that fate and God brings the storm clouds and it starts raining and raining. So nobody believes me when I say that Baltimore's been really nice and that the weather is usually beautiful and it isn't raining or anything like that. Because every Saturday when I go live on the air, it's like, thunder, lightning, rain, eclipses.
Like the three witches, right?
Yeah.
Who are they?
Oh, God. Are there names? Do they have names?
It's Hecate, yeah.
Hecate.
Yeah, but I think I'm going to look it up.
I don't know if go for it.
They do have names, of course. Everybody has names.
Myrna.
What are the names of the 3 witches in Macbeth?
According to homework.study.com, the witches are not given individual names in the original play. Though the 3 weird sisters appear fairly briefly in the play, they are significant to the plot, as their message to Macbeth drives the plot forward.
Here it says Luna, Phoebe, and Selene.
No. Shakespeare did not name anybody Phoebe and Selene.
So it says the witches hail Macbeth by his title. So they call
him
that
hurts.
The Thane of Glamis as the throne of Cawdor and finally king, but that's what they're calling him.
So he had 3 nicknames.
Yeah.
The witches were named.
So you just call them weird sisters.
Yeah, and they were
chill
weird.
when I said that.
But, so yeah, we would be getting witchy weather. We would be getting Macbeth weather here and then, by Sunday, most of the week was lovely. So, and this past week, it rained every day. Not all day long necessarily, but every day was grim, cloudy, gloomy. It contributed. Joyce was having allergy stuff. I was in a rough mood.
Twice, completely drenched twice.
Yeah, I was just like, my shoes got wet every time we went anywhere. Just day after day after day. This is the first morning that it hasn't been raining. That it's actually sunny out. It's gorgeous. And remember, these were also days, like the past couple of Saturdays, when there were yard sales I went to go to.
Oh, it's sad. And the kids' cotton candy thing, yeah.
And garage sales. And who wants to go? It's pouring out.
Remember when you went, that one garage sale you went to?
Yeah. That was sad. We could have gone to that other fair that was like 2 blocks away. It was indoors.
You know what's happening now?
What?
Repticon at the fairgrounds.
Yeah. But I realized the extra little piece of irony here today is that first of all, it's going to rain later. Apparently, there is going to be rain in the forecast. We're just not getting it now. But we have, thank you, a beautiful morning for you. And I realize we're at the time of year, and will be for several weeks now, where I can't prove it because it looks dark in here, because this desk and the computer is by a window with a glorious, lush tree that is shading the sun, so you can't even tell.
I love it.
Oh, no, it's magnificent.
It's good for privacy, darling.
Yeah, no, but I can't prove how sunny it is because literally it's in here. Oh, it's gorgeous, actually. The window is lovely. Yeah. But
hold it, David. I can't see it yet.
Sorry. Let me do a little bit more. There we go. You can see the window there.
It even looks shady in the window, though.
Yeah. And all winter long, that tree is sparse. It's bare.
Why do you think it looks? I think the computer. Maybe you need to get some sort of more bigger light because it's much brighter than it appears on the.
Well, I really should have more professional lighting for this.
Yeah,
This is not. I got one ring light. I can bring it down a little bit.
I don't know how you do it. Let's see.
But now all you see is in my glasses, which I shouldn't even be wearing. I can roll this up.
It's better. Glasses, David. Not for this.
Well, for reading, yeah, not for this. But let me show the people. Oh, I got logging again. One of the other things that we do have. You think there's no culture? You think that Northern Baltimore?
They're the loudest.
This
is what I find weird. We have heavy metal, death metal concerts there.
Yeah.
They're quiet. The loudest, they have fireworks, they have music. This group is the loudest group, and I don't know why.
And the group that Joyce is talking about and it's happening today and tomorrow at our local fairgrounds, which is less than a mile from where we live. It's Repticon. Repticon, Baltimore. Reptile and exotic animal, I can't read that, show.
Yeah.
And it's happening.
And they have a teacher discount.
I think teachers getting free.
Yeah, probably. It's
I want to go.
Says thousands of reptiles from around the world, fantastic prices on pet and pet products, live animal presentations. Bring the whole family.
Yeah. So we're talking about people who keep snakes and monitor lizards and frogs and turtles. I love frogs and turtles. I do.
Oh God.
What? Show me. Are you saying that's ugly? That's adorable.
What's he doing to it?
A man is holding his lizard.
I'm going to shop reptiles and see. Maybe we could.
Yeah. See if they have African aquatic claw frogs.
You can. It says shop reptiles and you can.
Well, yeah. Well, maybe they're just saying you can go to the Repticon and shop for all these different reptiles. What about?
I thought something was rocking.
Well, they're rocking at the Repticon. So that is locally, and Joyce and I have been talking about going and getting another claw frog or two, because that was our first pet before we ever had dogs. When we were fairly freshly married, we got a fish tank, and rather than get fish, we got frogs that turned from tadpoles into pollywogs, into froggies, and they were wonderful. In fact, I even had the guy who founded the company called Grow a Frog on this show. And oddly enough, his name is Paul Rudnick. No relation to the famous playwright Paul Rudnick. But he was a wonderful guest talking about starting up the company Grow a Frog, where you send away in the mail for a kit. I'm sorry, I could, I guess. I could bring him back on. He still has the company. He's still selling African claw frogs. So I've been tempted. For $40, you get not only the frog is the free part. They got frogs crawling up their asses, apparently. It's you're paying for the tank, the food, the wheel, or whatever.
I don't think the frogs have a wheel. It's a hamster, honey.
Yeah. Whatever it comes with their little 2B kit and the places for them to go and rest and scoop them out and feed them their Tubivex worms or whatever the hell they ate. Or they are, I think, semi-carnivorous, so there might be shrimp or meat in the things. But yeah, they were great. They lasted forever. They're supposed to last 3 to 5 years. Ours lived.
They were 10 years.
A decade. May have lived more, but we had to give them away because we moved from Colorado where we moved to Colorado.
Yeah.
And we gave them to my aunt, who brought them to school with like 10-year-olds.
She's a primary school teacher.
Yeah.
I think her students are even smaller.
And they died over one summer. I mean, they were fine for the whole year in the classroom. And then over the summer, they started like... But then again, they also literally lived double the longest lifespan of what they were supposed to live. So I can't say anything about that. But, we're thinking in terms of, maybe getting another pet or something. So, a cute little frog or two, a little froglet. Just seeing swimming.
You could say a frog for David. That could be a book.
A frog.
You should write a book, A Frog for David.
And maybe one day we will get a dog again.
When we go to the Johns Hopkins campus, why don't you just get a little net, and when one hops out of the lake, you just take it.
Are you allowed?
No. No.
You're on today. Your timing is like, because I would. Because there's so many polywalks. We go to, as Joyce said, there's a medical school, there's a college.
It's just another campus. It's another campus.
Yeah. Of Johns Hopkins University. But there's also Johns Hopkins Medical, so we go and there's a beautiful pond. And you're not allowed to go in it or anything. People do throw pennies and crap in there, but there's also, it's just full of what you think are fish. They look like mollies, if you've ever had tropical fish at home. They look like molly fish just gliding along, but then they grow and they get all blumpy on both sides of their bodies, and you realize, no, these are little baby almost frogs. They're tadpoles.
I think they populate the pond. They probably put them in.
Yeah, they probably scoop in a bunch and have them breed.
My friend said once they hatch into frogs, they start hopping out. People step on them. They hop in the street, because they don't know they're hopping out.
Yeah, but that's the sad part. I've seen dozens and dozens of these things swimming. I've never seen a frog there except one dead one that a bird had probably eaten and dropped, and you just see the corpse bleached on the pavement. Because I would love to see frogs hopping around. And actually, if a frog hops around, I'll grab it. Because I was, then I would take it home.
Yeah. Then you have to go get some tetanus shots and other shots.
But that wouldn't be an aquatic frog. These are real frogs.
Right at the medical center, David.
Oh, well, yeah. Oh, you think they're swimming in waste from...
No, I hope not.
Instead of those white canisters where people put their needles and things in the blood. It's like, no, we just use the pond.
I don't know why people throw money in there. It's not a money pond, it's a pond.
Any pond is a wishing well. Yeah, I want my cancer to be cured. We threw money in the fountain of Trevi, and we have not been back to Italy.
David.
I want to be back.
I gotta take my old lady.
Well, that's going to be, if only. Now, when? Joyce's mom is 87 years old, right? We've wanted to bring her to northern Italy and southern Austria.
I'm going to take her and leave you.
Well, all right, but do it. Get it done, because what do we wait? At least she can walk. Thank goodness she can still walk, and she still is compos mentis, unlike me. So, if not now, when?
Wrap it up, sister.
If I am not for me, who will be?
Potato.
Oh, that's true. Potato is. So anyway, we will be reading Sam Bangs.
What's it about? Do you know?
I think it's about a ship and a cat And what I thought was a ball of twine, but this is actually the Caldecott medal. Yeah.
I'm going to ask my TV.
Certainly about shipyard stuff.
What is the plot of the book Sam, Bangs, and Moonshine for Children?
According to Collaboration for Ethical Education, University of Notre Dame, by Eveline Ness, Sam, a fisherman's daughter, likes to tell others fantasy stories. One day, one of her tall tales puts her friend and her pet cat in danger, and she finally learns the difference between her imagination and reality. Moral reasoning in the story focuses on concern for relationships.
So it's about a little girl and her pussy. You're watching Dave's Gone By with me, Dave, and my wonderful and adorable, there he is, It is May 11th, 2024, episode 943. We're calling it the Full MONT, because in just a little while, Carolyn Montgomery, the cabaret singer and also a co-founder of the American Songbook Association, will be chatting with Rabbi Sol Solomon. If you want to know more about the program, if you want to hear or watch older episodes of the show, you know where you have to go, davesgoneby.com. Dave, like my name, davesgoneby.com. And then also we have the same archives, the interviews and the full-length shows at archive.org. It's a not-for-profit website. I don't get anything from them except another space to put all our content, which is kind of neat. You know, sometimes my site goes down or it gets slow or weird. Fine. You can always find our stuff at archive.org also. Plus, we put all our things on YouTube, plus the last 5 or 6 years that we've been on Facebook. If you just keep scrolling down Facebook, all the shows are there. And where else? Oh, and if you just care about the audio, if you just want to listen to the program, all you got to do is go to castbox.fm. Castbox.fm. It's really for podcasting audio. So, you know, basically this whole show, video, is me yammering. You don't necessarily need to see this face for 3 hours. You can listen. So go to castbox.fm with your podcasting device and listen that way. And yeah, I think that just tells you how to find out about the show and literally our thousands of hours of archives of the programming going back to our very, very first episode in 2002. Well, let's talk a little bit because we've got about 15 minutes before our guest, and then we'll still have Greeley Times to do and our Limerick and StoryTime. So we made a list of all the other things to yap about. Where shall we go? We put so many things down here. I did have a moment last Sunday that turned from embarrassment into joyful triumph. And it has to do, I don't even have my folder here. I'll get that.
What was it, honey?
Oh, well, of course it involves Mission Barbecue.
Oh, yeah.
So, you have a...
I want to go to a place where everyone knows your name. I want to go to a barbecue place where everyone gives me food. And everyone knows my name. And nobody treats me rude.
Yeah, I mean, Mission Barbecue has become my Cheers. This is not a commercial. I am Norm. Or is it Norm that there was, hey, Norm? Or
yeah, what's the other? You're one of the guys, yeah.
I'm the John Ratzenberger character or whoever, but
Yeah.
so they have a Mission Barbecue that I go to basically once a week when they have their black plates. I've talked so much about this, bro, so I'll keep it short. But last week I go in and you come in the door and then the counter is that way. It's the kind of restaurant where you order at the counter and take your food back. So I'm literally only about halfway through into the restaurant, heading toward the counter, and the two guys are, hi, Dave. I'm like, oh. It's one thing to go to a fancy restaurant where, like, the Fritz Feld waiter goes, or not Fritz, who's the other guy who's on Columbo, the Italian guy, Vito Scotti. He's like, oh, what can I have? I have the table that you always like. It's not near the kitchen at all. Right. So it's one thing to have that relationship
Yeah.
in a family-style restaurant where they know your name. It's another to walk into a chain restaurant like Mission Barbecue and just have a couple of pimply 18-year-old kids and a couple of Vietnam veterans with PTSD going, "Hey, Dave." I'm like, crap, they know my name.
Yeah,
I come here too often.
One time they gave you the French fries, they were like left
That's
over.
right. Yeah.
I don't think there's such a thing as leftover French fries in a barbecue place.
Yeah. No, they've been good. They've been nice.
Very nice.
And they know. As soon as I get up there, I'm already embarrassed because it's kind of like I'm known at Mission Barbecue.
Well, you'll be there tomorrow, baby.
Yeah. And they know what I want. Is it black plate special? I say yes. To go. True.
Yeah, they've given me iced tea. They're very kind to me.
And so there's a bald guy there. He's an older fellow, and he's there it's his shift.
Maybe he's the manager.
Probably one of.
You don't know.
Well,
does he have his ticket?
He's still working. I mean, he's not just telling people what to do.
I don't know. Maybe you know.
And so I asked him because now we know each other by face. I said, okay. How much longer is the black plate? Oh no! First I asked him. I don't know if it was this week or last. I asked him about because I got an email about their Mother's Day special, right? And the Mother's Day special is prime rib, which is like heaven on earth for me. I'm like, prime rib. What day? When is it? When is it? Just May 9th or May 4th? Is it just this? This is May 12th. And when I read the email more carefully, it's like no. It's a family thing. You have to order like this prime rib that serves 10 people. It's like $160.
Like a full meal.
Yeah, it comes with size, but they don't do individual. They're not doing individual prime ribs.
Yeah.
Man, So disappointing. But I asked them anyway.
Did you cry again? Did they have to hug you?
I cried. I screamed. I vomited.
Pooped yourself?
I didn't. No, I did not poop myself. I pooped someone else. But so I asked them. I made sure there's no individual prime rib. No. All right,
I have
fine.
to check,
But and then I also asked the bald guy. I said, "Hey, the bald guy. I mean, yeah, he knows mine.
Yeah, that's rude.
How much longer is because the current black plate special is a ribeye steak done Hawaiian style.
That's one of the first you fell in love with. Yeah.
It's a lovely thing. It's a beautiful thing. And he said, well, it's basically till Veterans Day. Like Veterans Day starts the summer, Memorial Day ends the summer, right? Or is it? No, it's Memorial Day and then Labor Day.
Memorial Day is the 31st.
Yeah, it's not Veterans. Sorry, it's Memorial Day, and then obviously school starts around Labor Day. So he said till Memorial Day. It's like another 2 weeks. I'm like, okay, all right. And then I do that conspiratorial, like, hey, we're good
What's
friends.
Next? Yeah.
Like just on the QT. Do you happen to know what the next black plate special is? And I was expecting something like shrimp or something like And he said, yeah. And he said 2 magical words. He said, smoked pastrami. And we have a moment.
What did he say?
He's looking at me, and he's just like, smoked pastrami.
Yeah.
And he's like, a moment. I forgot what, I think I just went, oh yeah. Or something ridiculous like that. It's like, yes. And we actually fist bumped. Oh, no, we didn't. No, we shook hands. He literally held out his hand. I was like, yes,
oh
yes. Because I've been in there, and when they tell me shrimp, I'm like, ugh.
I know, did you cry?
I don't come back for like 3-4 weeks. But when he said smoked pastrami, which I won't have every week, but hell yeah, I will try. I will try smoked pastrami sandwich. That's for sure. So we had this happy, joyful moment of like smoked pastrami. Oh yes, yeah. And then we shook hands, and I felt validated and vindicated. So a happy moment at Mission Barbecue this last weekend, I should say. What else do I want to talk about? We have about 10 minutes to talk. We can talk about wildlife again. And they always come out just sort of before bad weather. Some interesting thing, or in the middle of bad weather, when there's a caesura in the weather happening, but it's going to be more later on. So this week, for the very, very first time in our backyard, and I kind of hope the last. It's not something I really want to see. But...
Oh, is it fiddle faddle?
I would love to see him
You
again.
saw Fiddle Faddle.
I saw Fiddle Faddle, but this was the first time I ever saw a raccoon.
Mm.
I've seen dead raccoons, like driving to to one of the schools I'm at, and I see them on the road, and that's disturbing. That's upsetting.
You saw deers too, right there. Both
Yeah.
living.
But this week, for the first time, a live raccoon in the back of our yard, which is like, okay, it's a beautiful animal.
Where was he headed?
Oh, he went up from left to right and straight up.
Toward the school?
Yeah, that direction, but from our backyard.
Oh, wow, okay.
So it was like, all right. I've now seen another.
At least he was alone, you know?
As far as we know. On the happy note, I did see for the first time in many, many months our groundhog. Fiddle Faddle. We call him Fiddle Faddle because he kind of walks.
You named him Fiddle Faddle.
Yeah. I did because.
That wasn't the name you told us. You just named him that. You didn't tell us.
Oh, he didn't tell. No, he didn't. No, he had a different birth name, but when he came through Ellis Island,
Fiddle Faddle.
He had been Fiddle Faddle Moskowitz, but he dropped it because he wanted to get work.
Faddle.
Yeah. So it was so cute to see him again. He's a groundhog, a woodchuck, who apparently is on our property, and he just kind of goes sniffing. I'm telling you, he's voracious. All he does, you think the bunnies are bad? He eats. He just is like eating every leaf, every stalk, everything.
Wow.
And then he goes back under our shed. I can't imagine how much shit and whatever is underneath our shed. So, but we do have Fiddle Faddle, but he's cute. I don't begrudge a groundhog on our property. Raccoons are just annoying because they get into your garbage, and they do that kind of. That's pretty annoying. And I saw a fox again. And I did see deer in our backyard, which is wonderful.
You saw 8 deer, you said one day.
That was at the university.
Yeah, you saw 8 of them. That's cool.
But only the universities that we would go to would have deer in the parking garage.
It's like a family.
Yeah, because the parking garage there faces out into kind of a very little strip of wilderness. So they've kept it wild with trees and grass and things. So you can be parking your car. And I did this past week. A family of deer.
But you notice they're never in the parking garage. They're smart.
That much is we have kids who rollerblade and skate. I'm sorry, skateboard. Who literally skateboard through inside the parking lot while people are trying to park. Teenagers are not very bright, but teenagers are dumber than deer who know, hey, this part is green and woodsy. This part is where people zip through when they're getting out of class and driving home and not really paying attention. We're going to stay on this side. But 20-year-olds on, little wheelie things, no. They're going to zip wherever they want to.
Check to see if your guest is there.
They're not there. Because they still got another 5 minutes. But it's so great to see the deer. Because literally, I've never seen this many in one spot ever. There were 3 younger deer just sitting on the grass, hanging out, almost sleeping, but not quite. Then 3 parental deer, it was probably a menage a trois or something, just kind of walking around, scoping out the territory, guarding the younger. And then just a few feet away, another 2 deer. I don't know if they were the same family or same herd or something. It was just the most beautiful, without having to go to the Appalachians or go camping somewhere. You go to a school, you're parking your car, and suddenly wilderness is the most wonderful thing. And I love it. And I love seeing the deer in the backyard. And squirrels are fine. I mean, when they're not attacking our bird feeders, squirrels are fine. Birds are beautiful. We had a blue jay all day. Yeah, we got to fill the bird feeder. We had a blue jay earlier this week, and he wouldn't go away. He was just all around the whole yard, on the trees, on the feeder, and I know blue jays are not nice birds. They're very truculent. They're aggressive to other birds. They scare them. They take the food.
Dominant. I think they want and the bird seed we get, it's from Wegmans, but they love this one. This is the good one. So I'm afraid when we put this out, there's going to be
there'll be a feeding frenzy. But I'm as much as blue jays are not nice birds, they're beautiful.
Well, I think the cardinals are beautiful.
Oh, they're more. Yeah.
I like to see the woman cardinal because it's like an orangey gray. They're pretty.
But
And remember that little bird? We saw that little bird near the Joppy Nuts, the little tiny bird in the rain.
That was
he
sad.
was sitting there. I think he could fly. It was just.
Because this was not a pigeon. We were literally yesterday. We went to grab a cup of coffee in the middle of things that we were doing, and as we're walking, there's just this. And I'm talking like almost a baby bird, baby-sized.
No, but it was an adult. It wasn't a baby.
It was an adult, yeah. But you know how New York pigeons, you walk by them, they give you a look like, right. They're like squirrels. It's like, I'm here, you're there, you keep walking. I'm not afraid of you. You're not afraid of me. Fine. But with a little baby bird like that, or not, a baby-sized bird.
I think he was getting out of the rain because yesterday was horrible. It was like
cold and
raining, horrible.
Yeah, true.
Horrible.
But I still felt like something's wrong. And of course, you don't want to pick up a bird like that and bring it to the vet because if the mom's waiting for it, what you're doing is upsetting and disrupting.
When I did, they said take it back, put it up higher, so maybe a cat can't get it. But
what's up higher? Where would we put it?
Nowhere.
Because I had the feeling that even though he didn't look wounded, if I picked him up, I could put him on something. But
he was standing on his little feet. He looked okay. I think he was just. One time I saw a bird. They were on the porch.
Yeah.
Like on our porch there, and I was like, "Oh, they're sick." They were just drying off. They got wet. Like when they're so wet, they can't fly because they're heavy.
So I don't know. Maybe he was, God willing, he was absolutely fine.
We'll be back there and we'll check on him.
Yeah, well, no, if he's still there, then it really is a problem.
Yeah.
If he's still hanging in the same spot like 4 days later.
Those two people will save him. They have
two. If you don't know the in-joke on this, one of the places where Joyce and I get coffee and tea, other stores right in that complex include a place that makes really, really smelly popcorn, a place that does contracting. There's another place that makes candles out of milk and wax out of milk and smelly soaps and things. And then there is a place, I swear to you, where they do tube bending. That is the name of the company. Benders, something's tube bending company. And that's all they do. Yeah. They bend tubes.
But a lot of people must need that.
Yeah, I guess so.
It's the whole company.
I wouldn't mind having my tube bent, you know what I'm saying? But, yeah. How do we get on? Oh, the animals. So the animals. It's all right, It's nice to see in this weather.
And what bunnies. We have to feed the birds, and then maybe we'll start. If it doesn't rain this week, we can get the hummingbird thing in. I'll clean it. I gotta clean it. We got that hummingbird syrup.
Yes. Let's take a look.
We gotta do that. Yeah.
So that's one of the nice things about living where we live. We get, we're in suburban Maryland, so we get wildlife, we get creatures, we get birds. We could get hummingbirds if we refill our feeder. It's pretty. I've looked at Wegmans. Trying to find ostrich food.
We don't have ostriches.
Well, we don't have ostriches because we don't have ostrich food.
Feed them.
If we had ostrich
food. That's like that thing, like the stadium. If you build it, it'll come. I don't know. I think if we put ostrich food, we probably get squirrels and deer. I think that
that'd be all right. I wouldn't mind the deer, and we have squirrels anyway. You don't think ostrich food would bring herds of ostriches?
We could try it.
We could try it.
Maybe you could ask if they could get a sample.
Is there such a thing as Purina ostrich chow?
We could go to like a pet store and get a sample of a trial.
Yeah.
I told you when I was in Colorado with one of my yoga friends, she opened up her trunk and it's like Purina horse chow, and they actually had, because she had a tiny horse and a big horse. And I was like, oh my God, Purina makes horse chow. Like, who would think?
People would, because they do. You don't see it in New York supermarkets because why would you? But yeah, and it reminded me, and we'll come full circle on this because our guest has just popped into the waiting room. Yay! But I had the radio on in the car, and they played the original German version of Nena's 99 Luftballons. Right? And this brings us full circle back to Dr. Demento, which I mentioned in the beginning of the show. Because now I can't think of that song without first thinking of the parody version that they did of it, 99 Dead Baboons.
Oh, God, honey.
99 dead baboons sitting in my living room. You don't remember that one? No. And it's a very, the song is very uneven. Sometimes it's very funny, sometimes it's not. But the line, that has gotten me for 40 years, that gets me every time, or 30-something years since they did the parody of it, is the one thing he's trying to figure out how is where to find Puring a Dead Baboon Chow. It's just the most thick, wonderful line. Now, 99 Dead Baboons or 99 Luftballons, these are not songs that Carolyn Montgomery would be bringing to people as part of the American Songbook Association, or even in her cabaret performances, where she's now playing Rosemary Clooney in her bio review Girl Singer that's going to be at 54 Below. But Carolyn Montgomery is with us to tell us about the songs that she will be singing when you can go see her in a week and a half, and also what her organization does. So let's bring Rabbi Sal Solomon into the Daverhood. He has his own special music, of course. You know how that goes. Shalom, my friends. Shalom, my enemies. This is your old pal, Rabbi Sal Solomon. I am the founder and spiritual leader of Temple Sons of Bitches in Great Neck, New York. And what a delight and what excitement I feel in my kishkas today, because we're going to be talking about great songs, great music, songs from the great American songbook. And who better to tell us about that and to share her experiences and her expertise and her vocal chops than Carolyn Montgomery. Now, Carolyn Montgomery, she's a cabaret singer, cabaret star, a MAC award winner, and all these wonderful things. She even started like more than 20 years ago now with her show Temple of the Honk Tonk, which got her the MAC award back in, what was it? It was in 2000. But here's the deal. She's still performing. Now she has a new show where she celebrates the life and the music of Rosemary Clooney. And it is called Girl Singer. And it's directed by our friend of the Daverhood, Sally Mays, who was on the show quite a few years ago, who is a Broadway star and a cabaret star herself. So Carolyn Montgomery, is she, did we lose her? I'm going to have to tease out this intro, aren't I? Oy, oy, oy. We had her, now she's gone. Oh, there she goes. Whoa, there we go. Shalom, shalom, shalom. Let's make sure you're unmuted. You're not. Oh, good. Hello. Say shalom.
Shalom.
Okay. Oh, it's a beautiful shalom. Beautiful lady, Carolyn Montgomery. We were just telling people about your show, Girl Singer, that's going to be at 54 Below. And also, she is the co-founder and executive director of the American Songbook Association, which, I could say what they do, but you go ahead. What do you
Well done, intro all. I realized I came on and said shalom, and my camera and my audio were muted. So I said shalom to my Jack Russell Terrier, who looked at me and like hello. The American Songbook Association was established in 2017, and we are a threefold organization. We have an amazing magazine with whom we've partnered called Cabaret Scenes. It's been around for 28 years. It is a niche publication because we still print hard copy. We have a really great subscription base, and it covers live music in all 50 states and Europe. So that's pretty wonderful. We also provide education, music education, to underserved public schools in all 5 boroughs of New York City. We've just expanded to Chicago, and we would like to, it's a lofty goal, but we would like to do that in all 50 states of the Union. And yep. And
so you bring music education. What do you get, a cabaret notable to come to a school with a piano player? What do you actually do?
or Broadway. What we actually do is we come to the schools. We have two things that we do. One is a 1 hour one-off program, and it's really important to know that these are absolutely free. The schools do not pay a single thing for them. We come in, we bring them Broadway singers, and it's really cute because most of these kids have no idea what they're getting, and they're getting these amazing singers. And we devised a script to help them understand three American musical legacies. That is jazz, musical theater, and the American songbook. And the one they get stuck on is American Songbook, which is what everybody gets stuck on. What the heck is the
How do you
American
mean get
Songbook?
stuck on? What do you mean? Because I
Well, they don't really understand what it is. Most people think it means Cole Porter and Irving Berlin, right? That it is absolutely music from, as we like to say, the five best Jewish guys from the Lower East Side of New York. They were all Jewish, every single one of them.
yes,
Yeah,
yes, they were.
exactly. As so many brilliant artists are.
Because
But
we
in any,
control media. This is
there,
how we do it. Yes.
well, but there's also, well, I'll tell you what else is that it's the focus on education, which is the most important thing. And when you come from a beautiful tribe that puts education at the forefront of the community, that the rabbi was never 200 years ago the richest guy, he was the most educated guy, and everybody would send him to school. And that creates a group of people that have exceptional values in the center. I just wanted to say that.
Okay. I mean, now it's the Asians mainly, but we're still up there. We're second now. The Asians and the
Well,
Scot ones,
I
they're in
think
the
there are
last
many
grade.
people that put a premium on education. My family did, and it created people who are thinkers and who have open minds. When you have a really good, well-rounded, but back to the kids.
Your family, you're not tribal. You're Carolyn Montgomery. No, you can't be. Are you?
No, I'm not at all, but I have a great understanding for and attraction to um, beautiful familial generational tribalism in any form. And my father came from a man who was Quaker. We were Episcopalians and we were raised that way and we did observe. But my father, when I was a little girl, wanted me to go to every temple, and sit and watch. And he would, and he used to say, I want you to just have great respect because the overarching message is the golden rule. That's what it is.
Of course, yeah.
And so, yeah.
No, but I'm sorry, I have to redirect you now.
Okay.
Were you raised Quaker? Did you sow your oats? I mean, what are you?
No. I was raised Episcopalian.
So
Yeah.
How often did you have to go to church? I don't even know from what Episcopalian.
That's okay. Every Sunday. And my father often worked at an Episcopal school. I have a nephew who is an Episcopal minister. And yeah, so we are people of faith, but the Episcopalian faith should be, and mostly is, an incredibly accepting and also giving and generous. I was the senior warden for an Episcopal church here. We were the poorest church in the diocese, and we had more social programs than any church in the diocese. We had an after-school program, a feeding program. It was unbelievable. A free veterinary clinic. But anyway, that's what it's all about.
Influenced you, that mindset influenced you to say, we don't have a lot of money, but let's start up a thing that brings music, bring American songs into schools.
That's it. And here's the thing. I placed a premium on education and put my own son. I found myself a single mom of a teenage son, and I made sure that he went to private school. I put the premium on education, and I understood that very few of us are exceptional. Very few of us rise to the top in a right. If I had been in a terrible public school, and when I mean terrible, I mean just without any funding or any access to a well-rounded education, I wouldn't have ended up the way that I have. I was immensely privileged by being given by my parents an opportunity to have a private school education and college. That was just a given. We were going to college. We just had to choose which one. That's huge privilege. And I started to notice the disparity between my son's education and other people's access to education. And these other kids, my son was coming home and saying, I have to practice for chorus tomorrow. I have to practice my music. I have to practice my languages. I have to draw something for visual art. I'm playing a sport. These are all languages. These are all things other than reading, writing, and arithmetic. So I started talking about it. I'm very passionate about it. I'm trying to get a TED Talk to talk about it because neural pathways in your brain change from listening to music. And specific kinds of music, they change even more. Jazz, classic song. There's if you're listening to classic song and you are in 3rd grade now, you're hearing vocabulary that you don't normally hear. And if somebody like me comes in and makes it fun to learn that word, if I'm singing Cole Porter and I stop and say ennui, what's ennui? And I say, what the heck is that? And they
I'll tell you, I can tell you immediately. If I take off my diaper, I am sitting ennui. That's how it certainly works.
That is one definition. And the other, I always say, you know that feeling you get on a Friday afternoon when you're trying to study math in last period and you're absolutely exhausted and you can't learn anything more and you look out the window, you feel ennui. And sure enough, those 3rd graders start using that word. They understand it. That took me 3 minutes. And it changes lives. And listening to the music, actually, scientifically, listening to any music changes neural pathways. Concentrating on it. And once a neural pathway is created in your brain, it doesn't go away. Come on, Georgie, go ahead. My son is taking my dog out.
He's roaming back and forth in the mirror.
That's right. That's right.
Shalom, son.
Shalom, son. Have a nice day.
I learned so much listening just to like the meat puppets. So I don't know how many meat
puppets. But absolutely. But the truth is, if you're paying attention to it, your brain is doing something different. It is doing something different. And these kids, we do 1 hour one-offs and we come back 6 months later and the kids remember the songs. They remember what they heard. They're hungry for it. Their brains want it. Give a kid a crayon, they're going to want to draw something. And it depends on the individual kid what they want to draw, but they want to draw something. So anyway, I want to provide access. It's access that children don't have. And I know that trying to level the playing field between the haves and the have-nots in this country is a major, major proposition. But you got to start somewhere. And that's what we're doing. Sometimes we go into a school and do a 12-week program. The change in these children is incredible. It is palpable. It is, you wouldn't believe the difference that it makes in these kids' lives. They start off looking at me like, I don't even know. And after 12 weeks, they're singing Johnny Mercer and they're understanding it. It's really lovely.
So here's the deal. But you're a not-for-profit, I assume, a 501c, whatever the hell.
Absolutely, yes.
So what, do you apply for grants? I mean, where is your funding coming from? It
can't
be subscriptions to cabaret scenes.
Well, yeah, the thing is that Cabaret Scenes sustains itself. The magazine sells ads, sustains itself. I'm very proud of that. And our editor, Frank Dane, has been doing this for 20 years. He's wonderful. And he is really, we work side by side, hand in glove, together to make this organization work. And the other way we raise money is through our events. We have huge gala every year. So last year we celebrated Betty Buckley. The year before that, Stephen Schwartz. The year before that, Sheldon Harnick. And the year before that, Marilyn May. We are coming up on our 5th. We have not announced who our honoree is yet, but it's going to be it's going to be a big one. And we're really excited. It's going to be at Zankel Hall at Carnegie Hall on November 4th. And we will be announcing in a press release the honoree very soon. So we raise money that way. We do a couple of events a year. And then, yeah, grants and foundations. That's what we're really working on now. So.
No, this is huge. By the way, we are talking with Carolyn Montgomery, and that is one of the hats that you put on as the executive director of this organization that brings music to people who think all of music is just rap and hip hop and industrial noise.
That's right.
It is, which is fine, but not quite all of it. But the other very different kind of music that you actually do perform and have been for, I guess, about 25 years now.
Yes.
Including the show that you're working on now that you're going to be doing again at 54 Below, which is 254 West 54th Street in Manhattan, and this is happening on May 22nd. I didn't write what damn day of the week it is. Do you remember?
It's a Wednesday. It's at 7 o'clock, and there are only a few tickets left. Actually, I'm really excited about this.
And actually, now I wrote down 22nd and 20. Do you know it's the 22nd and the 20th?
It's just the 22nd, Wednesday, the 22nd at 7 o'clock p.m. And we sold out Birdland in 2 weeks in January. So the thing is that I'm in and out of performing. The last time I performed was a show called Visible Phoenix. The last one I did was in 2017. I started the American Songbook Association. I found myself single and raising a child, which I think is my first focus. So I really concentrated on that. And then I came back to it, and I'm so lucky because people still want to hear me sing. And so that's a great feeling.
Oh, that's that. Thank you for reminding me what I forgot to do in the introduction. I want to tell you that in a 2014 review for theaterpizzazz.com, the critic there, Sandy Durrell, wrote, quote, Carolyn Montgomery Ferrant, are you still going?
Yeah, that's fine. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Is a terrific singer filled with passion and humor. She knows how to take an idea for a show and transform it into an experience to remember. So let me ask you, what will we remember about Girl Singer, your tribute to Rosemary Clooney?
Well, in the reviews so far, and I'm going to go ahead and humble brag because I was really actually humbled and also very validated in this one. This was scary to come back after so much time to play a club like Birdland, to be having Ted Firth play for me, who plays for Marilyn May, Melissa Errico, Brian Stokes Mitchell, Michael Feinstein. I mean, this guy is the best.
I've never heard of any of them, by the way.
He is the best of the best. And Sally Mays is my director. I walked out on stage, and I really was my absolute authentic self. And that self happens to be in many ways a parallel to Rosemary Clooney's personal self. Now, we don't have the specifics of our lives are very different, but as women, we've had some real similarities. And I have listened to her music. I have read everything written about her. And then I read her autobiography. And it's interesting, as many people often are, when something hits a little too close to home, you have a negative reaction. And I went to my director and said, no, I'm not going to do a Rosemary Clooney show. We got nothing in common, nothing. And she's Southern. She said, okay, well, I'm going to ask you to read it again. And I did. And then she said, and I came back and I said, okay, I see what you did there. I see what you did there. There are some parallels, but no, I don't feel it. And she said, uh-huh, that's interesting. Do me a favor, honey. Read it again slowly. And I did, and I came back and I said, all right. Okay.
Well, I mean, you're not, this might be personal, you're not mentally ill. I'm assuming.
No. I don't have mental illness. And that's nothing to me is a personal question in terms of that, because I don't see mental illness, and I know you don't either, as a stigma at all. You know, if you have mental illness, it's an illness. It was more a woman thing, trying to be every single thing to everybody. Doesn't work. And it's exhausting. And I was married for 26 years to an absolutely wonderful woman who's a chef. And she sadly died in December of ovarian cancer. We remained very good friends. But there were some issues that I knew weren't going to be healed or taken care of. And I ended that marriage. Interestingly enough, as Rosemary Clooney had a second time around, I connected with a college boyfriend when I was singing in London. I know, yep, I'm one of those people who's very fluid, and we've been seeing each other for the last decade, and it's been absolutely lovely and wonderful. He lives in Paris, which is really not a hardship because we're back and forth.
Oh, it's the best thing ever. When you want to see each other, you see each other, and then for a couple of months, you're like,
well, after you've been married, after you've been married for a very long time and had everyday togetherness, we both agree we love our careers, we love our children, and our children love each other, which is really great. We've taken it very, very slowly, and it's been wonderful. But the point is that
in 10 years, that's not slowly. That's turtle's pace.
Yes. Well,
Yeah.
that's the thing. And for the first 4 years, we really, really let the boys call the shots. We were not moving in together. We were not doing anything like that. It was about raising our children. And so we made them the front and center. And I hate to say it, but kids know. Kids know when they are very important to you. They know when you have, paid that kind of attention. I only have the one, and he's my heart and soul, and he's a great kid. And he calls Bill his stepfather, and he calls his brothers stepbrothers. So my point is this: I rediscovered my authentic self, and it wasn't fireworks, and it wasn't falling stars, and it was just knowing who I am and learning to say, no, I'm sorry, that doesn't work for me. I'm not going to do that. Or I'm not going to be that, or I'm not going to say that. I'm going to actually tell you what I think and feel. And Rosemary Clooney came to that quite late in her life. She had a nervous breakdown to come to it, and she had to get sober to come
Oh,
to
that
it.
too. Right. I forgot about that. But yeah, right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that I did not. But I also didn't
You're
have
still
a
a full
career.
young punk, in other words. Is that?
Yeah. But we both learned to set boundaries, and we both learned that we were enough, and I've never looked back. And that is an overarching message of the show that I think surprises people, but the critics have been great, because I don't get up there and say, "Hi, Rosemary Clooney," but me, 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 me. I talk about Rosemary Clooney.
Got it.
And I talk about, and then I do delve into some parallels. Why am I up there talking about Rosemary Clooney? There has to be a reason, right? But beyond just loving her music, which I do.
Or that your voice is suitable to sing her kinds of songs.
Yes,
That
yes, we are.
too.
Yeah. I don't do any imitation at all. I just do my voice, um, because there are some similarities, but it's not the same. I don't have the scratchiness that she had, that wonderful, breathy, lovely scratchiness that she had in her voice. That it's probably not a nice way to describe it. Mellow, smooth, it was so beautiful. And she recorded from, 1944 to 2003. So the woman had a big body of work.
A big body and a big body. No, I'm kidding.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So
Well,
what are some of the? I assume that you, although it would just warm the cockles, if you don't mind the expression of my heart, if you actually did "It's a Hard Business," her magnificent duet with Wildman Fisher. Somehow I
yeah.
forgot that song.
No, that's wonderful. It's not in the show.
No, but you've heard of it. You've
Yeah.
done.
Oh, yeah.
You know that she.
Oh, I've listened to, there's another song that she did that was actually a hit, her first before Come On to My House. It wasn't as big as Come On to My House, but she sang a song called Mixed Emotions. Do you know that
I know the
song?
Rolling Stones. I assume it's different, but yeah.
Yeah, it's really good. And there are so many. It was hard to choose. It was really hard to choose. And I did on my own. I didn't actually have Sally or Ted take part in that, because I think choosing the music had to be intrinsic to me. I had to bring what I want to do and not take a whole lot of, they could suggest once I got the music, and both of them said, "Oh, this is great. This is a great cross section." I'm mixing Ira and George Gershwin with Paul Simon. You know what I mean? So
What Paul Simon song does she do?
Still Crazy After All These Years.
Wow. Oh, okay. That's and she did that one herself. It's not just
Yes.
you brought in.
Oh, yeah, she did. She recorded it. And it was it's really an interesting mix. And I really tried to get a couple of good I sort of do this chronologically. So I go from early, middle to late. And I end with a tune that she did with Diana Krall and John Pizzarelli.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
Jessica Molaski has been on this program, so I know who.
I love Jessica. She's wonderful.
She's married to John, and
I know, I know.
you
And
know, but
yeah,
telling all the
and I knew Bucky, and now who's John's father, who's just absolutely brilliant, and may he rest in eternal peace. Um and now Maddie Pizzarelli, John and Jessica's daughter, who graduated from Brown and has come out of the gate as a musician. Quelle surprise, and she's amazing.
Well, here's the question. I mean, your son that I saw walking the dog and doing the thing back there, looks sort of grown-ish.
He is grown.
Yeah. So what's he doing?
So he was headed out to Seattle to go to college. He's going to be 20 in July. And he was sort of picked up. He had not intended to do this, but by New York models.
Oh,
Yeah. So he said, well, I guess I'll stay in New York. And he went to school at Manhattan College. It was very last minute, so we had to pop him into a school would take him after everybody. NYU and Columbia were out. That wasn't going to
he's
happen.
lucky.
Yeah.
He's lucky, but yeah.
Well, he went to. Oh, you went to Columbia, didn't you?
Actually, the host of this program, Dave.
That's what I saw. Yeah.
Yeah, New York University, and he's very close to someone who went to Columbia.
Yeah.
We're not mentioning those schools at the moment. They're kind of.
Oh, well, I understand completely why, and I will honor that. But the point is that Manhattan College was not quite for him. This is a real New York City boy, who has a pretty broad worldview. And he found so anyway, he went there for a year. He took 1 year off and worked all year this year, both modeling, and he did everything he could. He's a hard worker, which makes me prouder than anything else. He didn't say, hey, I'm just going to come home and live for free and I never said you have to work. He just did. And so he has been doing everything from waiting tables to helping with a real estate agent to he's out there, but he's going to go to school next year, and it's likely going to be hunter, so that he can
be a hunter. He's going to kill animals, or he's going to. Oh no,
hunter college. Yeah,
what does he want to be though?
He's right now political science is the and Basil Smykel is the head of the Hunter political science department, and he's a brilliant guy, and Eli's impressed by Hunter just generally. And political science is where he's going. He is not exactly sure. The other thing is he just spent 2 weeks in Glasgow, Scotland, with a friend who is going to university there, and he absolutely fell in love with the school. And I said to him, look, honey, if that's where you want to go, I mean, I want him to find something that lights him on fire. That's all I care about, and he will. He's bright, he's interested, and he is really socially conscious. So.
And now he's at an age, I mean, you've got your I'll call him your boyfriend, but he lives with you. He's sort of full-time-ish. He doesn't have to go back and forth to Paris or something.
No. Yeah. Yep. He lives with me. His life is in New York City, but he's quite international. He's fallen in love with a little town in northern Spain called Palafrugell, where he loves to travel. He loves to travel around, and he does go to Paris and hangs with Bill by himself. He doesn't need me to go there, and sees his stepbrothers and enjoys himself entirely.
Now, speaking of colleges, you're talking to someone who's my synagogue is in Great Neck, New York, but I often hang with Dave, the host of the show, who lives in Northern Maryland. So you got your degree from Johns Hopkins, which everybody thinks is just about medicine and cadavers and things.
Well, they also have a music school.
Who knew?
The Peabody Conservatory, which is really quite amazing. It's always listed in the top 5 musical conservatories in the country, and it's really excellent. And it's funny because I said my family was in education. I was born in Maryland. My dad was the headmaster of the Garrison Forest School in the Green Spring Valley, and my brother was the headmaster later of the Gilman School, which is a boys' school right in Baltimore. So we have a huge connection to Baltimore.
Yeah, I was just because I saw John, I was like, oh my God, you are so local. Garrison Forest.
I am. It's true. I'm local. Go Orioles. Yeah.
So let me also ask you a couple of more questions. So, you took personal breaks from cabaret because stuff was going on in your life with your wife and
That's right.
What about the COVID years? How did you? What was that like? Not only for you, but all the cabaret people that you were on some level representing and dealing with cabaret scenes, the magazine and all that.
Yeah, well, here's the thing, that not only do I executive direct the ASA, and I also sing and travel with my work now singing. For the ASA, I kept things going by doing these interviews on StreamYard called Sunday Sessions, and I got Lucy Arnaz, Charles Bush. I got really, really good interviews.
Yeah.
And those were wonderful. And people often, it was a suggested donation. We didn't ask for any money. The magazine continued to go out. We stayed afloat. And we took huge pay cuts, which our nonprofit is completely transparent. And the thing that people like when they donate is that they see that salaries are less than 20% of what we raise. We really, we keep it low. That means that I have to have other work. And I do that on purpose. There will be a time when the ASA pays me exclusively, but not right now. I'm the steward of their money and I know what we can afford.
Oh, absolutely. But
Yeah,
do you have to have a third career, or can you
I do. I have a third career. I teach culinary and mixology classes. I teach them
Really?
not yet 4 times a week.
No, I mean, Mazel, I had no idea. You're also a chef.
Yes.
Sakes, this is amazing. So, what is your best dish?
Okay, so well, it depends on who I'm feeding, but I make really good coq au vin. I make an absolute exquisite tarte tatin. I make very good vegan food.
Ooh, like what? What's your best?
Because so I right now I've been deep into making chickpea stews with kale, coconut milk, lots of good vegetables, things that I can, and then sometimes I'll put a grain in them, usually quinoa or millet, to make, and yeah, exactly.
Not a quinoa fan. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It's
You
like
know
those
what?
little bowls you put in packing paper. But
Yeah, I get that. I do toast it and make a really wonderful chocolate bar with toasted quinoa that's crispy like a Rice Krispie treat.
now we're talking.
So yeah, I'll cook for you sometime.
Yes,
Seriously,
you will.
when I say that, I mean it. I actually will. And my ex-wife got written up in New York Magazine. A very prominent producer said Lee Forant makes the best Jew food of any person I know, because she would always cater Passover and she would cater these huge seders and things. And she honestly made beautiful kugel. She made beautiful chopped liver, the best you've ever had, like it melted in your mouth. People paid. We owned a cafe on 51st Street, and I gave up singing for 10 years to
The
own the
Cafe
cafe.
Ferrand.
Cafe Ferrand. That's right. We owned it for 10 years and 9 years, and she was the chef there. And I mean, her food was legendary, really legendary. So, and I osmosed it after 26 years of marriage. I learned how to cook. And she got terrible physical problems toward the end, and I did all the cooking at the cafe. So I parlayed that during the pandemic. I was teaching 18 to 24 culinary classes on Zoom from my home. Pizza making, sushi making, hot sauce making, mozzarella and burrata making, lots and lots of mixology classes. And with every alcoholic drink, I teach people how to make a mocktail so that they're not.
What is your tip? Because I love me a good mojito. Or
Okay, so
mojito.
so
But yeah, how do you
my
make a good mock mojito?
okay, so if I'm going to do a mock mojito, I'm going to make a simple syrup with mint. So I'm going to simmer that mint for about 2 hours. Then I'm going to turn off the in simple syrup, right? In the sweet. And if you don't like a high glycemic drink, you can use coconut sugar to keep it from being too high glycemic. Then for the mojito itself, you need fresh squeezed lime juice, seltzer. If you don't like, do you like bubbles or no?
Oh, I'm Jewish. Love
Okay.
salsa. 2 cents plain. I'll even drink
So
3 cents plain. Yes.
yeah, so seltzer, lime juice, and I'll write it down for you and send it to you via email. But and the mint simple syrup is going to make you a delicious mock mojito.
Now you're talking. Now you are. Now she is talking. We are, of course, talking with Carolyn Montgomery. Have just a couple more questions for you.
Sure.
This Shabbos morning, but we want to remind people, because we haven't mentioned it in a little bit, that you have to go see her on Wednesday evening, 7 o'clock, May 22nd, where she will be doing her one-person cabaret. Although Ted Frith is the
I got a 5-piece band,
mhm.
but just me up there singing.
Just her doing songs and some of the storyline and life of Rosemary Clooney in Girl Singer, a celebration of Rosemary Clooney. And if you want to get tickets, it's 54 below, because it's below Studio 54. It's got like a.
That's right. Yep.
West 54th Street in Manhattan. And I want to also give people a couple of websites that they can go to. CarolynMontgomery.net. And her name is spelled with the Y way, not the I-N-E way. It's
That's right.
Montgomery.
Carolyn. Yep.
.net. And let's not forget songbookassociation.org. Songbook Association.
American Songbook Association.
Oh, there's American before it?
There's American before it. Yep.
I screwed up. I'm sorry.
American. That's all right. That's all right.
Now, here's the deal. Let's say someone is in a nursing, an assisted living facility or a school or something, and they're like, oh, I would love to have you guys. Maybe they don't have the money to donate or anything, but they want you guys to come to them. Can they just contact you guys and just say?
Absolutely. They can contact us through the website. They can contact me through my website. Either way. And they can be in touch and just say, we would like a program to come to our facility. Now, if it's a facility that has tremendous resources, we ask for a donation. We do not require one. We are particularly focused on memory care units because the memory, it's unbelievable what music does in terms of, I didn't realize until Seth Rudetsky was talking to me about what memory care work does in terms of music with it. It centers them. They recognize it. It feels good when you're lost in a world that you don't recognize anymore, to be able to hear something. And one of the last things to go is the sense of smell. And yep. If you make a fabulous, comforting favorite chicken soup for somebody and bring it to them in a memory care unit, they will relax. They know that smell. If you play a song that they know, they will instantly start singing the words. It's incredible.
And I know that the best thing is when you're performing concerts at memory care, you really have to bring only 3 songs. Because
that's right.
So you can do the first one over again. They won't remember. It'll be like, oh, I haven't heard that in years. Yeah, that's right, Grandma. That's right. You know, I can sing along, and then you do 2 more songs, and then you go back to the first one again. It's like, oh, they're doing this song. I haven't heard this since I was like, yeah. So I'm sorry.
That's all right. One of the most wonderful stories I heard was recently at the Bistro Awards. My friend Wendy Sherrill won a Bistro Award, and she, at the end of her speech, she said, one of the most wonderful moments I ever had, she dedicated it to her father, the award, who died of Alzheimer's related dementia. And she said, the last conversation I ever had with him that was coherent, he looked at me and said, oh, you're a singer? Well, you should hear my daughter Wendy sing. She's incredible. And she said, I'll have to check her out. I loved that so much. The important things you remember. Yeah.
I don't even have anything funny to respond to that. It's just,
I know. It was everybody in the room did exactly what you're doing. Y'all, is that called plotzing?
In a manner, well, plotzing is what I do when I get up too quickly and I fall down. So.
I thought plotzing was when you felt really proud and lovely and you're like looking at. Yeah. Felling. That's it. I'm felling. Okay, that's right.
And we are felling here with one more question for the Carolyn Montgomery. So let me ask you, besides the Clooney songs and girl singer, do you have a favorite song of all time?
I'm a little surprised that I've been asked this before, and it has come down to the song Tenderly. I know. It was the one song I did not want to include in the set. She opened her television show with it. And it's, do you know the tune?
Could you give us just a...
The evening breeze caressed the trees tenderly. The trembling trees embraced the breeze tenderly. And it's very, very romantic, but it also takes a turn. And jazz musicians play it all the time. It's got huge range, and it is extremely focused and emotional. And I have fallen in love with it, really fallen in love with it. So.
And you do, people can hear you sing the rest of that if they go see Girl Singer at 54 Below on
That is
Wednesday,
correct.
May 22nd, 7 o'clock in the evening, 54 Below. Just go to the website. It's either AmericanSongbookassociation.org for more about that, or very specifically about Carolyn Montgomery, go to carolynmontgomery.net. And do you have any performance plans after May?
Oh, I do. I intend to take this all over the place. So to a city near you, I intend to travel, especially on the East Coast, because it's easier to get TED there. Baltimore, Philadelphia, different places in Connecticut. I'm going to be in Provincetown this summer. And then I'm going to pop over to the West Coast in the fall. So yes, I plan to do this a lot, and it'll be on my website.
Oh, yeah, all of it at carolynmontgomery.net. Well, Carolyn Montgomery, all I can say is, first of all, you owe me a mojito recipe.
Absolutely.
And also your chicken soup recipe. How can I not ask for that?
So good.
Can you mix them together and make like a mosupo or something?
No, I don't think so.
Won't work?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
It'll all ends up in the same place, but probably shouldn't go there in the same delivery system.
Yeah, it comes out in my ennui, if you know what.
Yeah, that's right.
Carolyn Montgomery, my friends, thank you so much for being with us in the Daverhood on this Shabbos morning. Much success to your organization and to you and your son and to your family, and just keep singing the beautiful music.
It's been a pleasure, and shalom.
Shalom to you. Bye-bye. Oh, my friends, Carolyn Montgomery, what a delightful, well-spoken, beautifully singing lady that she is. Do go see her singing the songs of Rosemary Clooney. That is going to be happening, as we keep saying, not this coming Wednesday, but one more Wednesday from this week over at 54 Below in Manhattan, carolynmontgomery.com. And remember, that's Carolyn with a Y. Why not? carolynmontgomery.net for information about her and getting tickets, and go see her, for goodness sakes, and get her music. Go on YouTube, listen to her sing. It's quite lovely. Well, it has been lovely being with you in the Daverhood on this Shabbos morning, May 11th, 2024. I am Rabbi Sal Solomon. For more about me, I also have a website. It's shalomdammit.com. Shalom, D-A-M-M-I-T. Shalomdammit.com. It is named not only for my catchphrase, but also for the one-person show with music that I did many years ago off Broadway. You can see the footage of the entire show on shalomdammit.com. Plus, I did a TV program, 10 episodes of a hilarious show called Shalom Dammit, Rabbi Sal Solomon's Peace, Love, and Acid Reflux Hour. Every episode is available for your delectation at shalomdammit.com. You can also read all of my rabbinical reflections. These are my, shall we say, mini sermons about everything from just telling wonderful Jewish jokes and interpreting them in an Hebraic way to talking about the world at large and the terrible things that are going on and that we're not even going to mention because it just makes me so mad. No, we're not going to go there. We're just going to go to shalomdammit.com. Anyway, shalom to you. Have a wonderful pre-Mother's Day. And then, of course, Mother's Day tomorrow. Call your mamas, remember them, light your yurtzeit lumps, God forbid if they're not there anymore. But let's give it up to the moms. And I will give the show up back to Dave, who hosts it. Shalom to you all. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is 11:15 Eastern Time here in the Daverhood with me, Dave Lefkowitz, and you're watching the 943rd episode of the Dave's Gone By Facebookio, Podcastio, Programmio of the Stream. I do want to remind you, I told you before about the website, davesgoneby.com and all the places to see the archives. Please don't forget that also we have a Twitter feed, Radio Dave 2. It's just Radio Dave and the number 2. We have an Instagram page, david.lefkowitz, spelled like my name, david.lefkowitz. So these are all places you're really getting the same information that you're going to get on this Facebook page and on davesgoneby.com. But if you're someone who scrolls or does or whatever, and these are your platforms, we've got Twitter, we've got Instagram, we've got Facebook, we're also on LinkedIn, just lots of different places to find information, not to mention the archives of this show. So do check that out if you can. And one more little pitch. Don't forget that I have another website called davelefkowitz.org. davelefkowitz.org. And this is a cool site just because it's where I put my writing. So davesgoneby.com is for the archives of the radio show and the interviews and all that. davelefkowitz.org. Hey, do you want to read my plays? My short plays, my longer plays? Do you want to read the many, many celebrity interviews that I've done for places like Long Island Pulse and Long Island Woman and some of the stuff that I was doing when I was writing for Playbill? They're all kind of, as I can gather them, as I have time, they're all going on to davelefkowitz.org. You'll also find my song lyrics there. And you will find, what else will you find there? All my comedy writing, just as much stuff as I can put there. Check it out. And I hope you enjoy it. And certainly if you have a theater company and you're looking for a fun one-act play to do, perhaps, or even one of my longer pieces, read, it's free. Just go and contact me if you want to put on one of my plays. A couple of years ago, a theater company in India, was just surfing the web looking for a play. They saw that one of my one-acts is called Blind Date, and it's a comedy. It appealed to them. They asked me for permission to put it on. They did a fantastic job on it. Just out of the blue, off the transom. I would love for that to happen so much more often. So davelefkowitz.org is the place to find all that kind of stuff. All right, well, what else do we have to do on today's episode of the Dave's Gone By Facebookio, Podcastio, Programmio of the stream? Well, we've got Greeley Times, which is based on phone calls that come into the police department of the Greeley and Weld County, Northern Colorado area. Are we okay? I think a couple of sesame seeds went down the wrong way, or
I call them sunflower.
Oh, sunflower seeds.
David, there's Barbara Jordan's watching.
Barbara Jordan,
Mm-hmm.
the politician, or who am I thinking?
Martyrs.
Hmm?
Repler Martyrs.
Replam artist. Wampler. Wow, that's a long name. That's right. Anyway, great to have you, Barbara. And great to have all of you watching and sending your thumbs up and your smiles and your icons and emojis and so forth to let us know that you're part of the Daverhood. So we have our Colorado Limerick coming up. We have Friends of the Daverhood, and we're going to do story time. But before then, are you ready to for some criminals? Are you ready for some troubled events in the town of Greeley, Colorado and thereabouts? Sure you are. Sure, my wife says, because it's time for Greeley Times, which is, again, this is based on real, actual phone calls that come into the Greeley Police Department. Stripped of identifiers, they publish it once a week in the paper, and we share them with you. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Greeley Times, and we have a few for you, and they're good ones this week. And we'll go elsewhere for some odd news too. Ooh, what happened to all my light? There we go. That's better. All right, here we go. Just gonna wait for the phone to. Oh, the phone's ringing. I knew it. Knew as soon as I said it, the phone would start ringing. A caller on 13th Avenue. Hold on, I gotta get the chicken phone. Here we go. Don't hang up. Oh my God, what's wrong with my earpiece? There we go. Yes, a caller on 13th Avenue saw a black, I'm going to need my glasses for this, saw a black SUV parked on the street, quote, waiting for their drugs. Perfect music for that, right? The caller said this happened a lot. And they're wanting extra officers to patrol. I gotta get this light out of my eyeball
What's
thing.
wrong?
The loop goes onto the.
Oh, then just turn it up.
Yeah. So we'll just can't do that. Oh, another one. All right, where's this one come? I'll get the poo phone. Yeah. Oh my! I have too many phone calls coming at once. I can't. All right, let me just get this one then. Okay. Where are you from? 23rd Avenue. Caller from 23rd Avenue said a shirtless man was walking eastbound with a hatchet in his hand. Okay, I would call the cops about that. I think
We saw that yesterday. We saw it was a fireman.
Oh, that's right. We literally saw a fire person with a hatchet.
Out in the
Because it was weird. It was like a car accident.
Yeah.
But the car didn't look completely smashed up. It just looked like a dented front door.
No, the one before it was really bad. They moved them out of the way. So this is what they moved the.
Yeah.
They try to move the cars out of the main drag so people can pass, but the other car was messed up.
I saw the gray one behind. I didn't really notice the.
No, it was like a big car in front of the Jeepy.
So I guess without having to deal with the jaws of life, I guess if a fireman can hatchet out the window. Yeah. Anyway. Ooh. Do we have another? Yeah, we do. There's always another caller. This one I got on the chicken phone. A caller on 22nd Street said that a man in another unit in the building was dealing drugs and had sent the caller threatening text messages saying he was a mafia member.
This is what I don't get, right?
Yeah, talk about.
Now, cell phone, you have to give someone your cell phone address.
Right.
Right?
Unless, mafia can find out stuff.
Oh,
They can get your phone number. I mean,
I told you my aunt was at the John Gotti trial.
But here's the deal. This is the setup. There's actually a little bit extra on this one. So a caller on 22nd Street said a man in another unit in the same building was dealing drugs and had sent the caller threatening text messages saying he was a mafia member. Fine. The neighbor, was not at home because he was in dialysis.
Oh my God.
So how much of a threat can you be? I don't know.
Hopefully a big one.
I wonder if he's dealing, special drugs or something like that. Anyway, check this out. Now this goes to two things we talked about already on the show.
What's that?
The fact that God, your mom is 87 years old, and we talked about Repticon, right?
Oh God, no, what?
An 87-year-old caller on 2nd Avenue. This is not New York. This is in all right, I gotta get him.
We don't have a lizard.
See, they would have false teeth. Okay. An 87-year-old caller on 2nd Avenue reported a snake in his basement.
Is that metaphorical or real?
Well, if he had a snake in his pants, it would be one thing. A snake in his basement, and he had it contained in a corner, but he needed help from officers to remove it. Would you, I guess animal control, that is a legit phone call to, like, animal control.
Snake is different because if it's poisonous, it could kill you.
Yeah, and this is Colorado. It could technically not be a nice garden snake.
Yeah.
But then again, if you had it cornered in a corner, I would be outside of the house on my lawn, calling the real estate agent saying, I've got a great house to put up. It's just one little issue that once we make the sale.
Why don't you reach out to someone at Repticon?
Yeah, right? Because they want it. They grab it. They have those little pole things that can
They do. They probably could,
reel them in.
They would be able to diagnose what it is.
Oh, yeah. I mean, if it's a snake to be scared of.
For my bread, David.
What? Yeah.
I'm eating this lot of these ones.
Joyce is having. Oh no! Are you kidding? I start choking. Yeah. Not that I don't like them. She's eating these shelled sunflower seeds, but they're so dry that they're just gonna go.
Well, they're roasted and salted. They're good for my bread. Oh my God.
No, they're tasty, but.
It's one here.
What else? Oh! Is there another call? Of course, there's another call. I'll get it on the other chicken hotline. There you go. So where are you from? Unknown address. We're getting so many of these now. The caller at the unknown address.
How can that be though? Don't the police know everything?
I am guessing sometimes that they take that, they do have it, but it's not in the identifier that they
They
put
don't
in.
want to say.
Well, a caller at this unknown address said the family cat bit their 11-year-old son in the thigh when he tried to get it away from other cats. Cats have no souls. You're trying to help the thing. You're trying to save it.
I would call 911.
For a cat bite? Well, they did.
Yeah, well, like, so my mom's friend had, like, if you have lupus or any autoimmune disease, cats or cat bites can be pretty serious. Like, if that kid had anything, that kid could get really sick.
But like, you still would call, then you go to the ER, you don't call the cops.
Probably urgent care would be.
Urgent, yeah, sure. You know. I don't know what time of night did it say?
Did he own the cops? I mean, he owned the cat.
It was 11 in the morning. The family cat. It was their cat. And the kid was probably trying to save it from
Why doesn't he just go to the pediatric urgent care?
Well, yeah.
Or even the school nurse.
Oh, yeah, it was 11 o'clock, maybe it was the weekend. I don't know. It wouldn't have been in school. It would have been catching the cat in the garden. I don't know. Yeah, maybe. Could have been on Broadway, because back many years you had cats there. Get it? Which is appropriate because we were talking with Carolyn Montgomery about memory care. Yes, feeling jellical with you today.
She was giving you recipes for mojito, I saw.
Rabbi Sal asked her for a recipe for
Is she a cook?
Yes, she's giving by Zoom and also in person culinary classes.
Because I heard of like coconut oil.
Yeah, she was throwing that into. You would like. I don't know if you would like it.
Coconut oil or milk? I didn't. What do you put?
Well, she's an expert in lots of different kinds of cooking, a lot of French cuisine, but also vegan cuisine.
Oh, wow.
So one of her things was a chickpea thing, but it involved coconut milk and it involved some other stuff that she put in there.
How do you get her classes on her website?
Yeah, actually, yeah. But she also volunteered to give us the recipes. But there's also a mojito mocktail.
Yeah, I heard that.
Which involves syrup, but you have to simmer the mint in syrup like for 2 hours and simmer on what? On a hot plate?
Crock pot.
Well, yeah. So now I'm not going to do this for a beverage. For a roast, for a duck, I'll take out the crock pot. I'll do the thing. I'll put the tin foil. I'll do the for a beverage. No, I'm not going to put it for 2 hours in a crock pot.
Okay, David, keep going to the next one.
Anyway, where was I going with this? Oh,
the cat.
Well, the cat. Yeah, that was it about the cat. It's just that. What was it about the cat? It's just I was making cat jokes.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I'm telling the truth. I wouldn't feline to you. Yeah. All right. Hey, and you know what? I don't have to talk loud about cats. I can just whisper. No.
I didn't even on the litter box.
All right. Here's one more, and then we'll get to an elsewhere. A caller on 27th Avenue reported hearing high-pitched screams for the past hour. So, I don't know. How long would you wait hearing nonstop high-pitched screams? Would you wait 59 minutes to
minute 2?
Second minute? Oh, really?
Once I could figure out where it is, because, you know.
As opposed to, like, children screaming in the street.
No, high-pitched, that didn't sound good when you said.
Yeah, so, it's like, I was watching my show, and it just started, and then there was screaming. Finally got to the final credits. I think I better call the cops on this. But anyway, let's do.
Well, remember that girl who got killed in an alleyway in New York, and everybody saw it, nobody called?
That's become a, not a syndrome, but it's Kitty something.
It's like Genovese or something?
Yeah.
Isn't it like in a bystander syndrome, right?
Right. That's exactly what they call it. Mm-hmm. Bystander effect is when everybody thinks somebody else would do something, nobody does something.
I remember one time I was in the subway and she was a pregnant girl, young girl. And she's standing, we're all standing in a crowded subway, and she literally falls straight down. Like she just fainted. It was hot and we were all packed.
What can you do though? Yeah.
So one guy took her off the train, he's like, I'm a paramedic. And then everyone said, did somebody get the conductor, stop the train? And then, But you have to make sure somebody knows, right?
No, it's lucky that there was but also we were talking about this. The guy with the fire department guy with the hatchet. Like, you were telling you if you get him out, don't move him until you're. It's like, oh, I better sit him up. No, don't touch him.
Remember the story you covered about the guy who was on a plane and somebody got really sick and they wanted a doctor and they were trying to force the guy to help him and he's like, look, I've had like 3 drinks. I can't make a clear medical decision. I am a doctor, but I'm not.
He could help.
I'm going to like Puerto Vallarta, like I'm not, I'm not sober. And there was this thing like, should he have done something?
Well, yeah, but he could make his best effort and then get hit with malpractice
but
because
also he might be,
yeah, he might not be compos mentis truly, or 100% or even 95% to say, I think he needs this medication. Oh wait, no, that's a medication for lupus. Not for having a sprained neck or something. So, no, I get it. I get it. Hey, let's get an elsewhere. Let's go somewhere else for a piece of ridiculous news. This isn't even a phone call. This is something that comes from Midland, Michigan. So on our Greeley Time segment, we don't, not every single thing is from Greeley. We go elsewhere for a piece of odd, ridiculous news. And thank you for bringing this to my attention yesterday, actually. NBC News reported a woman was found living in the rooftop sign of a Family Fare grocery store.
How do you get up there? Like
roof access.
And that would make you
living in a sign, right?
Yeah.
And this was in Michigan. And she had lived, you know how long she lived there?
Yeah.
A year.
How do they find her?
Here's the great. Excuse me. This is actually wonderful. Hold on. Contractors were working on the roof, and they saw an extension cord that they recognized. It's true. I'm like,
hey, did you put that there?
Where's this lead? And they followed it because it was siphoning the energy. Excuse me, from the store. I know, yeah. And they noticed, it led to the home, if you will, of a 34-year-old homeless woman who was living in a 10 by 15 foot space. I mean, it's not like a box. Turned out she had, there's no joke, turned out she had flooring, a computer, a desk, a printer, a Keurig, and a food pantry. So, and
of course, if she lived in a dollar store, she'd have to have a
food pantry. Well, actually, why wouldn't we just go downstairs and get food?
Did she enter the store for you?
Well, I think she probably had to go down the back of the building and then come up at night or something like that. I'm sure she worked, but she just had no home, so she lived rent-free, tax-free, in a sign on the top of a building, and it's rather nice. The Family Fare did not charge her. I'm sorry, what? Oh, you warm? Oh, yeah, go ahead. I'm gonna put the fan on up here. Yeah, no. So the family, what was it? Not Family Dollar. It's called Family Fare. Did not charge her with anything. They didn't. They just kind of let her go. But she did agree to leave. She couldn't keep living, on the roof. It's like a hobo on the roof, trying to scratch out a meager existence, sending out resumes and watching TikTok videos. So you may ask, how did I get here? Anyway, so yes, Hobo on the Roof is a story from, and this just happened, by the way, this week, a couple of days ago. Let's do, I don't know, shall we do another?
Sorry.
Now, I think I didn't do this one on the air yet. Remind me if I did, and then I'll go through it really quick.
I may have to buy these nuts. Sunflower. Right. They call them kernels.
Yeah, Joyce is eating more of the sunflower.
They don't call them nuts. They call them kernels. Sunflower kernels.
Well, didn't they have this thing a few years ago of what is a nut versus what is a seed? Yeah. Anyway, this was from the New York Post. A pair of newlyweds received a nauseous-making wedding gift from a revenge-seeking pal. I don't know if I read this.
No, I don't remember this. Please, I know nausea. Oh, God.
And they've been sharing their disgusting plight on Facebook and other social media. Quote, I wish this was a joke. This is the grossest wedding gift I could even fathom, and it's on my kitchen table. The bride wrote this on a popular Facebook wedding planning group. She revealed that one of her husband's groomsmen had gifted them a paperweight made of glued toenails.
What kind of gift? That's not on anyone's registry.
No?
Nobody's saying, oh, please give me a toenail gift. I don't...
Crate, Nail, and Barrow doesn't carry that?
Did he want to date the bride? Maybe he wanted the bride.
Well, thank goodness there's more to this.
Oh, yeah, good.
After their wedding celebration,
the
bride discovered the foul gift. That's all those toenails.
We don't know how it looks.
Yeah.
Want me to look it up?
Could you actually, there should be an image of the thing. It is a paperweight made...
Wedding gift made of toenail paperweight.
I do want to see this. Joyce is making a face that is not pleasant. She is not...
You think the post would have a picture?
Well, if she put it on social media, she had to show it. Oh, did she? Or...
Picture of bride who received a toenail paperweight as wedding gift. Thankfully, it's not.
Oh, really? Thankfully. I do not think thankfully would be the adverb there. Well, let me tell you a little bit more about the gift.
Oh, God.
So it was.
Stock photos of them cutting their nails.
Oh no, that's.
I don't think they shared it.
Oh my God! Really? Maybe she took it off after for whatever reason. Because she had put it on Facebook, apparently, and talked about it at least on Facebook. Maybe she didn't show it. But it was gifted to them in a brown paper bag, and she said, quote, a literal aged yellow nail.
Facebook. What? Facebook, bride who got a toenail paperweight as gift.
Oh,
picture of a toenail paperweight. Oh.
Oh, is that it?
No, it's just toenails.
Oh, it's just toenails. Actually, there's nothing. Well, that one.
Yes.
I'm like, well, there's nothing wrong with these toenails, and then I get to the one on right there.
Somebody in that group needs to see that.
Yeah, somebody got stubbed there. That's unfortunate. All right, well, let it be, because she said a nail, a literal aged yellow nail, fell off and onto my floor. She said.
I didn't think he must have liked the bride.
Well, I'm sure she added that one of the groomsmen had always given off, quote, a creepy vibe. Well, there you go. With the gift, he did include a note. He said, and it's not what you think, he said, to my favorite couple, your husband was such a gross dude in college. He always left his clipped nails all over the dorm. Guess who has been collecting them for 8 years? Almost as long as you two have been dating.
That's disgusting.
I added in some toenails of my own and formed them into a brick structure. The hardness is because I included concrete glue. This is a great friend. The bride was so unnerved by the gift.
A long grudge. 8 years of holding a grudge. Jeepers, pals.
She actually wrote on Facebook, quote, please comfort me, someone. She wrote that. Well, how would you, I don't know, if it's not the most gross gift you could give somebody, but if you opened up a brown paper bag and a toenail fell off a paperweight made of toenails and glue, would you be great? It would be kind of gross, wouldn't it?
Let's just say I wouldn't write a thank you note.
Really? No, not even a generic thank you. Just.
My thank you note might be a protection order.
Oh wait, well, yeah. So now responses on social media ranged from advice on how to ignore or deal with the gross gift giver. Also, folks who believe the friend was entitled to revenge after 8 years of nails all over the dorm. Because I get this. I get if you step on a nail.
Why are they in a dorm for 8 years?
Actually, that's a great question.
That's a problem.
I mean, I'm assuming the husband must have a PhD at this point. So, or a 6-year undergrad, which happens.
I think he's a special senior. Meaning he's been there forever.
Yeah.
Maybe he meant frat house.
Yeah. Or maybe he just worked in the nail room. Yeah.
Why do you still have a chicken?
Oh, because we're still doing Greeley Times, in case the phone rings. We'll have one or two more, but people, here's the deal. People were disappointed that no photos were included in the post showing the present.
How do we know it's real?
Right. Well, and how do we know whether the groomsmen messed up or nailed it? Get it? Okay. Let's get to some other clips, one or two more from Greeley Times. I'll just keep this chicken phone handy. One or two more items from Greeley Cop Log. No, we haven't done that yet. No. So we have that. We have our Limerick. I got it. I'll just get harried. I'll get the phone. I'll get the poop phone this time. Good Lord. A caller at a coffee shop on 8th Avenue said that a man had walked through the drive-thru area waving around an ice pick. I mean, I know when you go for your iced tea,
I don't want ice. No ice.
Maybe some people really, they want the ice much smaller.
You know, all this like craft brew.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like the cold brew coffee, the cold batch. Maybe this is like a Clark Slope kind of thing. You chop your own ice.
You shape your own ice. Starbucks makes you do everything else. Pour your own tea, pour your own honey, pour your own sugar, do this, do that. I still lovingly remember seeing Jackie Mason on Off-Broadway making fun of Starbucks. It was like, they charge you $5 and you're the one doing all the work. It's the most genius idea for a company ever. Back in the day, you go into a diner, you order a coffee light and sweet. They would make you a coffee, hand it to you as $1.
Yeah, but they never did it good.
Yeah, they did. I used to get coffee in the carts on the street.
On the carts on the street by Fordham, the one lady I said light and sweet, she'd say which color, so she'll get skin color.
Yeah.
It's hard to pick light and sweet. Yeah, it was light.
Yeah.
I like put as much like a lot of milk, no milk.
Well, it's like everything else. If they get to know you, I know you.
I come off the train, she'd be like, "What do you want today?" She's like, "Are you getting coffee for Rosemary?" That was my mentor. I'm like, "Yeah, it's 2 coffees or tea." I drank coffee in grad school.
So. You drank coffee for many years when we first were together. You didn't even drink tea. You were just you would have that coffee going.
Music died.
But where are we? So
you don't have a napkin, do you?
You want my handkerchief? I don't think you do.
No.
You could. This part does not have snot on it.
No.
This part has phlegm. This part has snot.
Here we go.
This has a little bit of blood. One last phone call. Ooh, semen. Anywho, a caller at a fast food restaurant on 8th Avenue said a man kept coming through the drive-thru.
The ice pick?
In different vehicles, harassing employees.
How do you do that?
Who has a nightlife like that? Let me borrow. Can I borrow your car? I need to go to the drive-thru again and yell at somebody. He's leasing all these vehicles.
Maybe he probably owns a car dealership.
I don't know.
It's got to be a car dealer who owns a lot of vehicles.
Right, you come from all these different
maybe
ones.
Like he's a valet at some place and he just takes other people's cars.
Oh.
You know, like who has access to cars?
But usually those people are really, really graceful. You know why? Because they're ballet dancers. That's Greeley Times for this Saturday morning, May 11th, 2024.
Mr. Horace Greeley was no fool.
He was not.
I'm sure that you'll agree with me that Greeley was no fool.
What he is getting at is that Mr. Greeley was no fool.
Yippee-yi!
Yippee-yi, 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 yi-yi, yippee-yi, yippee-yi, yippee-yi.
Bum, bum, bum. So, ladies and gentlemen, it is 11:15 Eastern Time here in the Daverhood. we still have some other stuff to do on this episode of Dave's Gone By, our 943rd. With me, Dave Lefkowitz. My wonderful wife, Potato, is here, although he hasn't been on camera yet. Let me get him. Hi. Did you prepare anything? You knew you were going to be on this episode of the show, Potato. Do you have anything to share or anything? Hi. No, they worked on that. They worked on that a lot.
Here's his buddy.
His buddy. He has another Potato with him, so we'll bring them both together. Now, other Potato, did you prepare anything really special to say on this episode of the show? Hi. All right. Yeah.
Just look at what. Frozen.
Joyce is looking at our Facebook feed live as it's going on. Or as it was going on. It seems to be sort of frozen in time. What? Oh, no, I'm actually talking. The words are moving, but my face isn't.
Your face.
And my face, I look like an old Japanese man, like. Oh,
now it's back. Now it's back.
Good.
Yeah, look.
Oh, much better. There we go.
What happened?
I know. Stuff happens.
What happened?
Our Wi-Fi's been a little bit slower than usual the past week or so. But let's get to our story time. Story time is, as we mentioned earlier, where I just read someone's book. It's the best thing ever because I don't have to prepare any material. I just read to you, and we get to enjoy literature together. And today, we get to enjoy the Caldecott medal-winning children's book, Sam Bangs and Moonshine. What could that title possibly convey? We're going to find out on StoryTime.
Tell me a story, tell me a story, tell me a story, remember what you said. You promised me, you said you would, you gotta give in so I'll be good. Tell me a story, then I'll go to bed.
So as we said earlier in the show, this segment started many years ago when I got a book called A Cow for Hansel, and actually read it cover to cover over many weeks on the air. We're going to try and do this one in 1 week, like just today, or two. But here it is. It's Sam Bangs, which is, by the way, missing the, what do they call it? I forgot what this is called, the other comma. It's the Oxford comma. It's missing the Oxford comma. So already it's a little suspect. And it's for Jackson in Sun Valley. So there we go. Or it's for Sun Valley in Jackson. Not sure. So it has to do, I think, with a boat of some. The hell does this thing open up? Like the pages are stuck together in a very strange-ish. Yeah, not going to go there. But it has to do with a ship of some sort. Here we go. And a ship full of chalabreds and cantaloupes, which is even stranger. Sam Bangs and Moonshine. Written and illustrated by Eveline Ness. This is a Henry Holt and Company book from 1966. So this was actually written the year before A Cow for Hansel. All rights are reserved. Library of Congress catalog card number 66-10113. It was still early enough that it was only like a 5-digit catalog number. Here we go. Oh, here's a little girl playing with her starfish. I know that's not a sexual metaphor. On a small island near a large harbor, there once lived a fisherman's little daughter named Samantha, but always called Sam, because she was gender questioning.
No, because it's shorter.
But she had the reckless habit of lying. Not even the sailors home from the sea could tell stranger stories than Sam. Not even the ships in the harbor, with curious cargoes from giraffes to gerbils, claimed more wonders than Sam did. Richard Gere's favorite book growing up. Sam said her mother was a mermaid when this is the greatest sentence ever. Sam said her mother was a mermaid when everyone knew she was dead.
Oh, God, that's horrible. The poor child has trauma. That's horrible.
That's a great way of laying in the information that the child lost her mom. Sam said she had a fierce lion at home and a baby kangaroo. Actually, what she really had was an old wise cat called Bangs.
Oh, he's cute.
It
Ow.
bangs, it bangs.
Yeah, but maybe she didn't have a cat. She might have been lying.
Get it? She was lying about the lion.
Oh.
Ah. Sam even said that Bangs could talk if and when he wanted to.
Oh.
Sam said this, Sam said that, but whatever Sam said, you could never believe. Even, it's kind of like Joe Biden, even Bangs yawned and shook his head when she said the ragged old rug on the doorstep was a chariot drawn by dragons. So yeah, the girl's got a problem. Early one morning, before Sam's father left in his fishing boat to be gone all day, he hugged Sam hard and said, "Today, for a change, talk real, not moonshine. Moonshine spells trouble."
What's moonshine?
Actually, Troubel.
What's moonshine?
I'm guessing moonshine is standing for nonsense. Don't talk
Oh,
craziness.
yeah.
I thought she was going to do up a still in her home like the guys in MASH.
Confusing, but the cat did it. If she's the young girl making moonshine and the cat's talking to her, that girl's a witch.
You know what? If you drink enough moonshine, your cat will talk to you. Sam promised not to talk, not to talk shit. But while she washed the dishes, made the beds, and swept the floor, she wondered what he meant. When she asked Bangs to explain real and moonshine, Bangs jumped on her shoulder and purred. Moonshine is flummadiddle. Real is the opposite. Did you know that moonshine is flummadiddle, hon? I just, in case you weren't.
Is this book am I hallucinating? What are you talking about?
Everybody is hallucinating this book about moonshine and flummadiddle.
I like that.
So here's a girl. Now this is what I don't understand. Here's a girl who lies perpetually. She is an inveterate liar, and yet the cat is actually talking to her. So this is going to be like a girl who cried wolf sort of story. Let's find out. Sam decided that Bangs made no sense whatsoever. All right. Oh, look at this. Yeah, this was not written last week. There's an image.
What the heck?
Yeah.
That poor child. Is that the girl?
Actually, no. He grew up to be rerun in What's Happening.
That's sad. I feel sad.
When the sun made a golden star on the cracked window, Sam knew it was time to expect Thomas. Thomas had 2 cows in the barn. Oh my God, maybe he's related to Hansel. And he also had 25 sheep, a bicycle with a basket, and a jungle gym on the lawn. But most important of all, Thomas believed every word Sam said. At the same time, every day, Thomas rode his bicycle down the hill to Sam's house and begged to see her baby kangaroo. Again, that is not a sexual metaphor. She was lying and saying she had a baby kangaroo. He's not trying to get into her love pocket. Every day, Sam told Thomas it had just, quote, stepped out. She sent Thomas everywhere to find it. She sent him to the tallest trees where she said it was visiting owls. Or perhaps it was up in the old windmill. Isn't that cute?
I love that.
Yeah,
but she's making up stuff. We know that.
We do know this. Or perhaps it was up in the old windmill grinding corn for its evening meal. It might be, said Sam, in the lighthouse tower, warning ships at sea. All very plausible. Or maybe, she said, it's asleep on the sand.
Oh.
Somewhere, anywhere on the beach. This a little reminds me of Atlantic Beach. It honestly does. Wherever Sam sent Thomas, he went. He climbed up trees, ran down steps, and scoured the beach, which he did with Ajax, which was really difficult. Yeah, but he never found Sam's baby kangaroo. Now, while Thomas searched, Sam sat in her chariot and was drawn by dragons to faraway, distant worlds, secret worlds. Excuse me. See, look at that.
That's scary.
Well, it's a dragon because it's dragging her chariot.
That's scary.
Today, when Thomas arrived, Sam said, that baby kangaroo just left to visit my mermaid mother.
Oh, she's now saying the lie again.
She lives in a cave behind Blue Rock, as opposed to, she lives 6 feet under it.
She's probably going through some bad grief if she lost her mama.
Yeah, of course. Sam watched Thomas race away on his bicycle over the narrow strand that stretched to a massive blue rock in the distance. Then she
when
sat...
you do story time, you should wear a Mr. Rogers sweater.
Oh, I should.
I have a cape. You want
A
to put on?
cardigan.
I'll get you one.
Give me a cape. Yeah.
Okay.
But not a rabbi type cape. I need something.
No, it's not. It's a cardigan cape that I found when I was cleaning downstairs.
We're reading Sam Bangs and Moonshine, by the way, which is a book from 1966 by, what was the name again? By Evelyn Ness, presumably not related to Eliot Ness, but who the heck knows. And so it's about this little girl who has lost her mom, or as the book very plainly and abruptly tells us, Sam said her mother was a mermaid when everyone knew she was dead. So this girl is living a rich fantasy life and lying about everything because, her reality is not wonderful. And she has a best friend, this kid who comes around to be her friend, and she's always telling him...
1 second, I'll put the cape on you.
Oh, she's got a baby kangaroo, but it's never there when he shows up. And she sends him out scouring for it. Did we feed the fish?
Yes, Dr. Mr. Rogers.
You're special. Let's continue.
It's kind of Mr. Rogersy, right?
I also feel like 15 years older every time.
It looks like Mr. Rogers, no? Oh, wait, here, let's see the real man, the real McCoy. We don't have a red sweater, though.
Oh, let's hear him. Very nice. So let's get back to the book. Sam Bangs and Moonshine. Sam watched Thomas race away on his bicycle over the narrow strand that stretched to a massive blue rock in the distance. Then she sat down in her chariot. Bangs came out of the house and sat down beside her. With his head turned in the direction of the diminishing Thomas, Bangs said, "When the tide comes up early, it covers the road to Blue Rock. Tide rises early today." Sam looked at Bangs for a minute. Then she said, "Pardon me while I go to the moon." This was not really a lie. This is just a euphemism because she had to take a dump. Bangs stood up. He stretched his front legs. Then he stretched his back legs. Slowly, he stalked away from Sam towards Blue Rock. Suddenly, Sam had no desire to go to the moon or any other place either. She just sat in her chariot and thought about Bangs and Thomas. She was so busy thinking that she was unaware of thick, muddy clouds that blocked out the sun. Nor did she hear the menacing rumble of thunder. Don't be scared, children. She was almost knocked off the doorstep when a sudden gust of wind drove torrents of rain against her face. Sam leaped into the house and slammed the door. She went to the window to look at Blue Rock, but she could see nothing through the gray, ribbed curtain of rain. She wondered where Thomas was. She wondered where Bangs was.
Thomas the train?
Tom is the stupid kid who believes everything she says. Sam stood there looking at nothing, trying to swallow the lump that rose in her throat. Not only did she lose her mother, now she's got cancer in there somewhere. The murky light in the room deepened to black. Sam was still at the window when her father burst into the house. Water streamed from his hat and oozed from his boots. Sam ran to him, screaming, "Bangs and Thomas are out on the rock! Blue Rock! Bangs and Thomas!" As her father turned quickly and ran out the door, he ordered Sam to stay in the house.
You know what he saw?
What do you see?
You like that?
This is too beautiful.
This is your Facebook
It
friend.
is too beautiful.
Okay, sorry.
It's Nosferatu. I love it. And the father says, "Pray that the tide hasn't covered the rock." When her father had gone, Sam sat down. She listened to the rain hammer on the tin roof.
Wait.
Oh. That is like a tin roof, yeah. But then suddenly it stopped. Sam closed her eyes and her mouth tight. She waited in the quiet room. It seemed to her that she waited forever.
Why is nobody watching that child when she's running amok? Like, where's the parents?
Well, the father's running out to find Bangs and Thomas.
Yeah, but what about his own child who lost a mother? I mean, that's pretty bad.
Well, at some point, he's got to leave for work. What
He's
do you do?
He's a bad father.
Yeah, he is kind of. Here he is. Look at him. Look at him.
Yeah, look, he's not even engaged. Well, maybe he's depressed too because he lost his wife.
Yeah. At last, she heard her father's footsteps outside. She flung open the door and said one word, Bangs? Sam's father, who had been molesting her for several years, shook his head. He was washed away, he said, but I found Thomas on the rock. I brought him. Notice he's worrying about, like, the stupid cat.
He's like, well, I got the cat, thank God.
Thomas has been doing everything she's asked him. Yeah, but where's the cat? But I found Thomas on the rock, and I brought him back in the boat. He's home now, safe in bed. Can you tell me how all this happened?
I'd like to know myself.
Sam started to explain, but sobs choked her. She cried so hard that it was a long time before her father finally understood everything. Finally, Sam's father said, go to bed now, but before you go to sleep, Sam, tell yourself the difference between real and moonshine. Yeah, because as we knew, moonshine, as the cat say, is flubba-gugga like a book. Oh dear. Sam went to her room and crept into bed with her eyes wide and open. She thought about real and moonshine. Moonshine was a mermaid mother, a fierce lion, a chariot drawn by dragons, propaganda by Hamas, and certainly a baby kangaroo. It was all flummadiddle, just as Bangs had told her. Or had he told her? Wouldn't her father say a cat's talking was moonshine? Real.
Was that moonshine?
Well, here's moonshine, like ghostly moonshine.
Why do they have him in a cage?
He's out the window.
Oh, okay.
Or dead.
Oh, God.
He got washed away.
Maybe that's the spirit of their dead mother.
Well, here's the deal. This is sad. Real was no mother at all. Real was her father in Bangs. And now there wasn't even Bangs. Tears welled up in Sam's eyes again. They ran down into her ears, making a scratching noise. What the hell? Is she crying mercury?
I don't know. I cried into your ears.
Well, okay, it's slight, but they don't make it.
Tears are silent.
Yeah. Sam sat up and blew her nose. The scratching was not. Oh, the scratching was not in her ears. It was at the window.
It's
the stupid cat. Yeah. As Sam stared at the black oblong. Is oblong a noun? That's interesting. As Sam stared at the black oblong, two enormous yellow eyes appeared and stared back. Sam sprang from her bed and opened the window. There sat Bangs, his coat a sodden mess. Can you just check him? Is oblong a noun?
I can't. I'm watching you.
Oh, sorry.
People gave you Jacinda Halster Peterson and Tony Sportillo gave you.
Hi guys. Thank you.
Gave you stuff because they gave you for your doing my show still. Finally a sunny Saturday.
Thank you.
Bang. Okay.
Yeah, oblong.
Is oblong a noun? Oblong noun. It says noun, a shape that has four straight sides, two of which are longer than the other two, and four angles of 90 degrees. It's a noun under Oxford Dictionary.
And you know what?
Here, this one.
Now that you say it, it makes sense. Because if you can have a square, a rectangle, a circle, you can have an oblong. Let's see. Four straight sides.
No, but is it a noun or a thing?
Oh, it's a noun. And it can be an adjective.
Oh, yeah.
Something can be oblong.
An oblong table, an oblong
but
shape.
like you can have a square table.
Yeah.
Or, a square peg.
I don't know, honey. I'm not
Who
you.
knew? Well, now I know.
I'm not Daddy. Oh, that's right. It said he's not Daddy.
Oh, Bangs, cried Sam, as she grabbed and smothered him with kisses. What happened to you? In a few words, so she's still talking to the cat, Bangs told her that one moment he was on the rock with Thomas.
Yeah.
And the
next... killed Thomas. Then Thomas was in the water.
Well, I let him live as long as I could, but then I got hungry.
Wow.
And the next he was lying at the foot of the lighthouse tower a mile away, all done by waves. Nasty stuff, water, Bangs grumbled as he washed himself from his ears to his feet. Sam patted Bangs. Well, at least it's not flummadiddle. Sam paused. She looked up to see her father standing in the doorway. Look, Bangs is home, shouted Sam. Hello, Bangs. What's not Flummadiddle? Asked Sam's father. Bangs, and you, and Thomas, answered Sam. Oh, Daddy, I'll always know the difference between real and moonshine now. Bangs and Thomas were almost lost because of moonshine. Bangs told me. Uh-oh. He told you?
Oh, no.
Questioned Sam's father.
No.
Well, he would if he could talk, said Sam, and then she added sadly, I know cats can't talk like people, but I almost believed I did have a baby kangaroo.
Oh.
Her father looked
She
steady.
needs some antipsychotics.
It's like private schooling therapy, yeah.
Yeah.
There's good moonshine and bad moonshine, he said.
Oh.
The important thing is to know the difference. So he's already changed his tune. First he said you gotta know the difference between real and moonshine.
So
and
now
it's like,
he's just
some
making...
moonshine is good. Yeah. He kissed Sam goodnight and left the room. When he had closed the door, Sam said, You know, Bangs, I might just keep my chariot. This time Bangs did not yawn and shake his head. Instead, he licked her hand and he waited until she got into bed, curled up at her feet,
And then clawed her eyes out.
and went to sleep.
You just told the story about the kid who got bit in the hand by a cat.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
Bangs said, I killed Thomas. One day I'll kill you. The next morning, Sam opened her eyes to see an incredible thing. Hopping toward her on its hind leg
Oh, no.
was a small, elegant, large-eyed animal with a long tail like a lion's.
Oh.
Behind it strolled Bangs and her father. What the
That's the mouse.
what?
That's the mouse.
With its guy. Look at the
Why is
feet.
it wearing boots?
Yeah, exactly, right? This makes what?
It's a
What
fashion
the hell
book.
is this story?
Why is the mouse jumping when wearing boots?
Oh, it's a baby kangaroo!
Of course.
Shouted Sam. What? Never says this is in Australia. Could be. Shouted Sam. Where did you find it? No, it's not a baby kangaroo, said Sam's father.
It's a gerbil?
It's a gerbil.
Mm-hmm.
It fell out of Richard Gere's ass. I am shocked. He wasn't even famous then.
He wasn't even born.
I found it. Dog on his
You're an unnatural color of red. You want seltzer?
I'm good. I found it on an African banana boat in the harbor because the father's a ship guy.
Why would he bring a rodent he found on a boat?
Right? Yeah, because.
Why would you bring a rodent to your child?
Well, maybe he saw it.
He found it. Did he bring it to the vet?
No, they're poor. They don't even have money for it. They live near a lighthouse. I mean, it's like
She's probably gonna get rabies or scabies or something.
Could be. Well, and here's the thing: do you bring a rodent
Yeah.
with a feral cat in the house?
Of course.
How long do you think that gerbil's gonna live? Now Thomas can see a baby kangaroo at last. Sam squealed with joy. Sam's father interrupted her. Stop the moonshine, Sam. Call it by its real name. Father's turning into an asshole now. Anyway, Thomas won't come today. He's sick in bed with laryngitis. He can't even talk. Also, his bicycle got lost in the storm. Sam looked down at the gerbil, and gently she stroked its tiny head.
Aw,
Without raising her eyes, she said, Daddy.
it bit me. I think I have rabies. I don't feel so good.
Daddy, can you get AIDS from a mouse creature?
Oh.
Daddy, do you think I should give the gerbil to Thomas?
Oh no. What?
Sam's father said, I don't know if he leans that way sexually, but you can try. Sam's father said nothing. Bangs licked his tail. I guess we know what kind of gerbil he is. Suddenly Sam hollered, Come on, Bangs! She jumped out of bed and slipped into her shoes. As she grabbed her coat, she picked up the gerbil and ran from the house with Bangs at her heels. Sam did not stop running until she stood at the side of Thomas's bed.
Oh.
This is going to be nice. This is going to be a nice
It's a
ending.
happy ending. I like it.
I mean, the mother doesn't come alive, but here we go. Very carefully, she placed the gerbil on Thomas's stomach.
This is the cat?
No, the gerbil.
Her friend.
It was Thomas. Thomas is the kid who rang out in the storm.
I remember. I got confused. Yeah.
So yeah, I know if I'm basically hallucinating with laryngitis after being lost in a storm. First thing I want to feel.
I would like to have a rat that you got off of a ship.
On my stomach.
That probably has,
yeah.
you know, some kind of disease. Yeah.
The little animal sat straight up on its long hind legs and gazed directly at Thomas with its immense round eyes. What's his name? Wheezed
Squeaky.
Well,
I call him Squeakles.
that's right. He doesn't have a voice. What's his name? Wheezed Thomas. Moonshine, answered Sam, as she gave Bangs a wide smile. The end. Let me tell you a little bit about Evelyn Ness. Needs no introduction as an admired artist of great skill and sensitivity. She drew as well as wrote the story. Anything really funny here? A believer in variety, Miss Ness is always experimenting with new techniques, and she's become an expert in many types of reproduction. She actually has 14 children, including her own inventive methods of achieving a particular effect. She's been a highly successful commercial artist, and her illustrations have appeared in many leading national magazines. She developed an interest in the art of needlework and designs and executes her own tapestries. And apparently she executes her own pets, but in a humane way. Ms. Ness was born and grew up in Pontiac, Michigan, studying at the Art Institute of Chicago, the Art Students League in New York, and the Accademia de Belle Arti in Rome, Italy. She now resides in New York City. So, yeah. And let's see some reviews for this lovely book, Sam Bangs and Moonshine. Never has the artist made more striking pictures. This is from the Horn book. The narrative is delightfully expressed in the charming drawings, beautifully portray the island scene. That is true. From Booklist, and then a school library journal wrote, unusually creative story presented in a realistic and sympathetic context. This is an outstanding book. So ladies and gentlemen, I've been happy to share story time with you on Dave's Gone By today of Sam Bangs and Moonshine. Hope you got a bang out of it. Oh, I was going to play Storytime theme again, but let me throw off my swagger. Before I go to bed, you promised me you said you would.
I think the story's really good.
Tell me a story, then I'll go to bed. Ladies and gentlemen, it's about not quite 1:45 in the morning on this May 11th, 2024. You're watching the Dave's Gone By, Facebookio, Podcastio, Programmio of the Stream with me, Dave Lefkowitz. Also, my wonderful wife is here helping out, as are Potatoes, as is Mr. Rogers.
Doesn't it feel good when you're just about to do something that you know is wrong, and you decide to do something else, something that won't hurt you or anybody else? Doesn't that feel great?
Yeah, thank you, Fred. So we still have our Colorado Limerick of the Damned to do for this Saturday morning, where I will read a brand new poem about a place in Colorado. But before we get to that, let's do the Friends of the Daverhood. Let's talk about folks who have been on this program in months and years past, or even recently, our friends. So first of all, we got to thank our brand new friend, the delightful Carolyn Montgomery, who was on, on the show earlier today. Don't forget that you can see her on Wednesday, May 22nd at 54 Below doing Girl Singer, a celebration of Rosemary Clooney. And, you know, if you saw her sing a little bit and you heard her talk about Clooney and you know, the personal stuff that she brings up related to Rosemary Clooney's life, you're going to want to see this show. It's Girl Singer at 54 Below. Get your tickets and information, CarolynMontgomery.net. And remember, she spells her name Carolyn with a Y, CarolynMontgomery.net. And you want to check out also American Songbook Association.org, American Songbook Association.org, in case you either want to donate to their cause, or maybe you belong to an organization that could really use and doesn't have a lot of money, could really use someone coming in there, singing cabaret songs, explaining them, perhaps working with children to have them get an appreciation of songwriting and lyrics and stuff like that. So yes, AmericanSongbookassociation.org. And thank you one more time to Carolyn Montgomery for being with us on this Saturday. She is a new friend of the Daverhood. We want to wish a refuah shlema to an old friend of the day, a friend of mine going back before I even did this program. He is a theater journalist named Harry Horn, who was on our program a few years back. He's just had the roughest luck over the past year or two. He had another stroke. It was his third stroke recently, then followed by a fall. And they've been managing, but his husband has medical issues as well. So Harry and his husband have set up a GoFundMe page if you want to help them out. It's Harry Horn, by the way, is spelled H-A-U-N, Harry Horn. So look for him under GoFundMe, and we certainly wish that he gets better. He's a cool dude. I worked with him and for him, and he worked for me in all different capacities as editor, and when we were at Playbill together. Decent dude, and he's wrote for Playbill for like 30, 40 years. If you would go to the theater between like 1980 something and maybe just a couple of years ago, and you open it up and you would read profiles and stories by Harry Horn. He interviewed everybody. So I really, really hope things turn around and he gets better. And his husband gets better too. Good Lord. Anyway, let's see. Oh, don't forget that John Suzuki. I want to thank him one more time for having me on his podcast, Finding Better. I don't know if he's aired it yet. I don't know if it's on Spotify or the place where he puts his podcasts yet. But do look for it. I recorded it about 3-4 weeks ago. And I also have a copy of it. At some point, I'll play it on the show. It's a video podcast. But when it airs, thank you again to John Suzuki for having me on your show. Suzanne Bachner is the author and director of a play called The Good Adoptee, which is being done at Cabaret on Main in East Haven, Connecticut, and that is happening today, Saturday, May 11th. Want to let you know also that Steve Forbert is playing tonight at my father's place in Roslyn, New York. No, my father's place is in Hewlett, and he's dead, and my mom's living there. But my father's place is a music club, been around for, God, since the 70s. And now it's in Roslyn, New York. Karen Mason, she will be appearing at Chelsea Table and Stage, and that is happening on May 11th and 12th. So both days this weekend, go see her. Jose Rivera has a new play. It's called The Hours Are Feminine, and you can see it at Intar, 500 West 52nd Street. That starts today and runs through the middle of June. Gabriel Barry is directing a musical, which is a book by Bruce Valanche. Valanche was on our show just a week ago. It's the Dolly Parton musical, Here You Come Again, and it's doing UK tour dates that are starting today and running through early December, but it's all over the place. You have to go see the calendar of where Here You Come Again is playing, because it's in all these different locations in the UK, like Leeds, and I guess at some point it gets to London, but all these towns in Manchester and places like that. Want to let you know that Jeff Harner is directing cabaret artist Celia Burke, and that is happening on tomorrow, May 12th, Sunday, with a special appearance by Elizabeth Sullivan, who is K.T. Sullivan's mom. So you're going to want to check that out. That's happening at the Laurie Beachman Theater, and it's only tomorrow. Now, Edward Einhorn, he has a play that he co-wrote and directed, and it is a musical, actually, called Exegog, all about the Passover Seder story. It's being done at La Mama. This is your last weekend to catch it from Edward Einhorn. This is also your last weekend to see Jill Eikenberry in a play called The Two-Hander at New Jersey Repertory Theater. Now, playing on the 14th, which I guess would be Tuesday, in Los Angeles, if you go to the Groundlings Theater. Tracy Newman, who was one of the Groundlings back in the day, she is going to be part of a panel there called So You Want to Write for Television. So check that out if you're on the West Coast. That is happening Tuesday night. Now on Wednesday, May 15th, Judy Mark another, we had Carolyn Montgomery, a cabaret person, on earlier in the show. Judy Mark is also a cabaret person, and she will be there with another person who's been on this program, Ken Bloom. They are going to be talking about Gwen Verdon. Well, she'll be singing Gwen Verdon. He'll be talking about her, and you can see that all at Don't Tell Mama. This is happening on Wednesday night. Also on Wednesday, you can see Jessica Scher's show, Betty Davis is Not for Sissies, is a bio show where she plays Betty Davis, and it's being done at the Triad up on 72nd Street in Manhattan. Starting on Wednesday and for a limited run, off-Broadway at the Second Stage Theater's Kaiser Theater, it's a play called Breaking the Story, and it features our friend Julie Holston. You're going to want to check that out. It's on West 43rd Street. Sally Mays. We were just talking about Sally Mays with Carolyn Montgomery. Well, she's got her cabaret show called Now and Then. It's at the Green Room 42 this Thursday. Playing now through May 18th, Jeffrey Sweet. He's been getting excellent reviews for his new play, Counselor, that's being done at the White Bear Theatre in London. So yeah, if you're out there in the UK, it's already been done, I believe, here in the States and even in New York. But now it's brought to London, and it's getting some very nice reviews there. Counselor, about William Counselor, at the White Bear Theatre. Playing now through May 22nd, only on Wednesday nights, Tammy Faye Starlight is doing her Nico show. Nico, the model and singer with the Velvet Underground. She's been doing it for a long time and gotten raves for it. See it at Joe's Pub, 425 Lafayette Street, this Wednesday and next Wednesday, I believe, are your last chances. Neil Berg has written the score for a new musical called The Sabbath Girl, being done at Penguin Rep in Stony Point, New York, now through the end of May. Now through early June, Jimmy Tingle is at Soho Playhouse doing his solo comedy show, Humor and Hope for Humanity, as if. And then there's Gabriel Barry. He's also directing the revuesical A Sign of the Times. It's a York Theatre Company production at New World Stages off-Broadway. God, a lot of people doing stuff. Lilius White is on Broadway in Hadestown. Alan Menken's music is on Broadway in Aladdin and off-Broadway in Little Shop of Horrors. Seth Biesenhirsch hosts Seth's Talent Showcase. That is every Tuesday evening at Don't Tell Mama. K.T. Sullivan, we just mentioned her earlier, is at the Algonquin on Tuesday nights. Also on Tuesday, of course, what's playing in the background there? Let's try this. That's better. Little Brahms. Cool. Where are we? Oh, Eric Comstock and Barbara Fasano. They're at Birdland on Tuesday evenings at 5:30. Vince Giordano and the Nighthawks are at Birdland on Monday evenings at both 5:30 and 8:30. Jim Caruso's Cast Party every Monday night at Birdland. Get your tickets at birdlandjazz.com for all these different events. And then, of course, Michael Garin is at the Roxy. I'm going to lower it. It started so quietly. Michael Garin, Tuesday through Saturday evenings, playing piano at the Roxy Hotel in Tribeca. And also, if you go to his Facebook page, he live streams all these evenings. So if you're home, you can't get to the Roxy if you're in another state, but you want that cocktail lounge, New Yorky kind of feeling with Michael Garin and his segues, just log on to his Facebook page and watch him. It's very cool. And then I want to remind you, Evan Seplow is the founder and editor of StageBuddy.com. David Sheward writes theater reviews for TheaterLife.com, CulturalDaily.com, and our own TotalTheater.com. Excuse me. I lost my place here. Vicky Quaddy does Late Night Catechism and Are You Smarter Than Your 8th Grade Nun at the Greenhouse Theater in Chicago. Plus, Charlie Gross and Leslie Hoban Blake, they co-create Two on the Aisle, a theater review show that you can watch clips of and entire episodes of on both YouTube and Manhattan Neighborhood Network. Dr. Demento still doing Dr. Demento shows, old and new, at drdemento.com. And those, my friends, are the friends of the Daverhood. Yes, ladies and gentlemen. That's kind of a wake-up call to let you know that we're only 5 minutes away from noon and basically the end of the program. And what a fun program we've had. Rabbi Saul Solomon, Carolyn Montgomery together. And I'm going to be waiting for those recipes, I'll tell you. Go to carolynmontgomery.net. No, wait, yes, carolynmontgomery.net for information about where she's appearing and also the American Songbook Association. We've also done Greeley Times. We also had StoryTime of Sam Bangs and Moonshine. We've talked about a bunch of stuff, but we have not yet done the Colorado Limerick of the Damned. This is because Joyce and I lived in northern Colorado for a bunch of years, and I got it into my head I never have a good reason, for no good reason, to write all these really disgusting, awful, filthy limericks about all these different places in Colorado. So sometimes they're pretty easy. There's hundreds of towns and cities and municipalities and ghost towns in Colorado. So there's Greeley and Vail and Fort Collins and things like that. But there's also ones that are tougher to rhyme. I still try and do a new one every single week, even though this has been going on for years. So this week's Limerick of the Damned, we go to Adena, Colorado. A-D-E-N-A. Adena, Colorado, for a poem. And I'll tell you a little bit about Adena, too, for a Colorado Limerick of the Damned.
A limerick is a comic verse of 5 lines, in which lines 1, 2, and 5 will end with words that rhyme. And likewise, verses 3 and 4 also end with words that rhyme. So this is a limerick. Rocky Mountain, Colorado.
Yes, we go to Colorado every week for a new Limerick of the Damned. And if you've never heard of Adena, Colorado, it's not just because it's small or a little hick town or something. It doesn't really exist anymore, but it did. It's an extinct town in northern Colorado, not that far from where my wife and I used to live, in Morgan County, and it essentially was there for only about 40 years, from 1910 until 1949, named after a resident there with a great name, Edna Adena. One letter difference. Edna Adena. And they had settlers found the town. They came from Illinois and Nebraska to settle there up in northern Colorado. And you can still, in that area, see remnants of both a schoolhouse and a cemetery. But other than that, there's not really anything else. There's nothing left truly existing that is Adena, Colorado. There's a sign, there's a tombstone, there's a thing, but that's about it. However, on this program today, we immortalize Adena, Colorado, because I bring a poem about it. When you put something into literature, it's there forever. So, I do have a limerick about Adena, Colorado. You're just in time. Are you okay? Our Colorado Limerick of the Damned, Adena, Colorado. A dominant girl from Adena was called into court by subpoena. She stabbed out the eye of a submissive guy and bit off the tip of his wiener. Please, please direct your comments and complaints via anonymous email to our HR department here at Dave's Gone By at AOL.com. Dave's Gone By at AOL.com. I try and read every email that comes through. I don't necessarily have time to.
It's difficult because AOL now is done by carrier pigeon.
That's true. Remember the frog wheel I was talking about?
Yeah,
it runs on that.
That's what,
yeah. But it still is an email address, and I can still read stuff there. So please, mail me there, or you can actually get to me, of course, on Facebook. You can message me there, or post under our shows right on the Facebook page. However you want to get to me, you can complain. You can also tell me how wonderful the show is, or make suggestions about the program. It's whatever you want to do to contact and be part of the Daverhood. I also, of course, urge you to tell your friends, tell your neighbors, tell everyone that we're still here, that the show has been going on for 21 and a half years and will go on. Certainly will, I don't want to jinx it or anything.
Until you lose your mind.
Well, how long ago was that? No, but, we want to get to the 1000,
1,000, yeah.
and maybe do 1001 to grow on, and then I might cap this thing.
You'll never stop. Come on, don't
I
lie.
don't know. Well, it's, that'll 2 years away probably, or less than 2
You'll
years.
never stop yours.
Probably not. It might morph into something. I might become famous. Someone might finally watch this and go,
No, you're confusing famous and infamous again.
Anderson Cooper has to retire at some point.
I just dropped you, but you still keep talking.
Nothing matters. Rachel Maddow will quit one day, or the people on Fox News, and they'll want somebody. So here I am. See? Camera ready. Decent teeth. Nice nose hairs,
And you
trimmed.
know how to differentiate stroke.
I know how to do what?
You can tell sometimes stroke.
Yes, I can tell if you're having a stroke or not. I can do that.
That's cool.
So anyway, davesgoneby.com. Do check davesgoneby.com for all the archives, as we've been saying, as well as archive.org. We have a channel there, plus our audio archives at castbox.fm. Feel free to check our Twitter feed, Radio Dave 2, as well as David.Lefkowitz is our Instagram page. Rabbi Sol is shalomdammit.com. His Twitter feed is at Rabbi Sol Solomon. Whew. Okay, I think we've hit.
You had a wonderful interview. What a great interview.
She was. Oh, thank you. Yeah, she was really terrific. Carolyn Montgomery. We'll give her one more shout out. CarolynMontgomery.net, and go see her May 22nd, Wednesday evening. Not this Wednesday. One more Wednesday over at 54 Below, West 54th Street, literally under Studio 54, which used to be that crazy dance club, is now a Broadway theater,
Wow.
and they have a cabaret under it. Kind of cool. All right, it is just barely after 12 p.m. We hit noon, my darling. So is there anything that we want to talk about before we table this? We let's see. We can mention. I don't know. I've seen so much shade and hate. Well, not hate, but disappointment for this on like the social sock med.
What?
We watched the Jerry Seinfeld movie, Unfrosted, which popped a couple of days ago on Netflix. It's cute. It's funny.
Oh, yeah.
It's
you were
clever.
talking,
It's
yeah.
watchable. It's fun. And I didn't roar uproariously, but I laughed.
Yeah, you watched it, which means you don't normally watch what I watch. So.
Well, you don't really watch like murder mysteries and real life, serial murder things. I like comedy. So I did you enjoy it?
I did.
Amy Schumer is in there. They have a couple of guest stars and things. Jerry Seinfeld, they say he can't act. He's perfect playing Jerry Seinfeld. He's just right for this.
I don't think he ever acts. He just plays himself.
He plays himself. And this is how he talks. And he narrates the film, and it's a very funny narration and very clever. And also, they have two children in there, little more than a cameo. They're actually important
Yeah.
parts, and they're very good.
You like the kids are very believable. It's like a Willy Wonka thing where they really kids could act in.
Yeah, and it's this feud between Post and Kellogg over who is going to invent the great perfect toaster
The
pastry.
Pop-Tart, yeah.
It's really well done. It's really fun and light and fun. Everybody's saying, "Oh, it's not funny." Oh, comedy is subjective. There's no question about that. But I have more fun watching this than a lot of the hilarious other comedies by other people. So if you have Netflix, give it a try. It's Unfrosted. It's the new. He directed. He wrote it and directed it. Jerry Seinfeld movie, Unfrosted. Speaking of food, though, I was gonna do this yesterday.
What?
I really was,
What?
because I was in the mood for soda.
Is it a food? Oh no. Oh.
Or no, or I did it when I came home, maybe from school on Thursday.
Did you really make this?
I took a can of soda. I'm like, because apparently the new trend, and let's say this is better than eating Tide Pods. So the new trend on media that they're telling kids to do on TikTok.
It'll kill you, right?
Yeah, you don't want to get the Tide Pods,
Well,
but
why would you eat that?
because children are morons.
No, I
They
thought
see a
that
thing
it
that
was
looks.
no, but the way you're saying like it was a trend.
There was a thing back when Tide Pods came
No,
out.
it wasn't like an internet trend.
No, they didn't. What was the ice bucket challenge? That was a trend thing. Remember that? It was like, hey, we care about something. Let's spill cold water on our heads and get pneumonia. Idiocy. So the latest idiocy is not a social media thing. It's actually a thing concocted. What do you mean? Tape. Cape. What? Put my cape on? Oh, you're cold. Oh, yeah. Well, you got the fan going. Hold on.
Honey, come on.
There we go. So, this was started apparently by Sonic as a thing, where they take a perfectly good cold soda, or as we used to, no, I never called it soda pop. People in the middle of the country called it soda pop. And they would add pickles to it. You're putting pickles in soda, along with, they would put like kind of milk or cream, and I think lime juice or coconut or something like that. And somebody tried it on, they're like, why would anybody drink this? It's not horrible, but why would you ruin a soda by doing this? However, other people have said that you can put pickles in soda and it adds something. It's pretty good. So I was this close to opening a jar of pickles and popping into my generic cola soda and saying, let me try this. I didn't, mainly because I didn't want to open a jar of pickles and then have pickles I'm never going to eat and not use.
I thought when my mom was in Pennsylvania,
yeah,
we went to a little diner and they made cherry cola. I thought it was disgusting.
Oh no, I like cherry cola. I like this is good. It's like a Shirley Temple. No, I'm down with that. But and you can put it seems counterintuitive. You can put milk or cream in soda, in Coca-Cola or Pepsi, because what is a root beer float? An ice cream float is cream and milk and stuff getting mixed with cola syrup, and it works. It works beautifully. But then you start adding the lime, and you add the pickle thing in the brine. Maybe. It probably will still certainly take all the paint off your car. That's for sure. Coke will do that alone, but maybe if you add all these other things, you can literally strip a car down in 45 minutes. Maybe. I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to try. And they do it with Dr. Pepper. That was the thing. It was Dr. Pepper that Sonic is doing these things. I don't know. I'm going, next soda can I open, especially if I get like chopped meat and I make burgers.
Well, actually, you have the soda stream Dr. Pepper.
That's right. Yeah, no, it wasn't about using the can of Coke or ruining a beverage. It was about opening a can of pickles that I won't necessarily use again soon. But I guess I could. I can make a burger or something and add pickles to it. So, anyway, that's been new, of adding weird things to beverages. But in terms of ridiculous stunts that people are encouraged to do because everybody else is doing them, yes. If you want to add pickles to soda, God bless you. It's so ridiculous, it just might work. All right. Anywho, I think we're good. So, ladies and gentlemen, it is 12:08 in the afternoon here, Eastern Time, in the Daverhood. You've been watching the 943rd episode of Dave's Gone By. Oh my God. With me, Dave Lefkowitz. Of course, a little shout out to Melvin G. Mintz, our beloved. Be with us, good Lord willing, and the creeks don't rise, next Saturday, where we will be back on May 18th with the 944th episode of the Dave's Gone By Facebook Yo podcast, Yo Programmio of the stream, with more of this craziness. We might have a guest, we might not. Rabbi Saul might be here, might not. We'd like to keep it somewhat flexible and open and different and fun. That's part of the joy of doing the program. And knowing that you guys are out there watching and sharing and having a good time too, that's part of it. So, on behalf of myself and my wonderful wife and potatoes, do you want to give a quick shout out to your mommy?
We spoke and she got the gift, so we're good.
So she's good, okay. And shout out to my mom. Hi, Mom! Hi, Mom! Talk to you tomorrow. And what else? And to all of you guys who have moms and aunts and maybe uncles who are gender questioning, happy Mother's Day to ya. Make it a good one. And make the whole weekend and the whole week ahead a good one, in and out of the Daverhood.
Days gone by, days gone by, days gone by.
Oh, whoops. Accidentally hit the wrong button there. Let's play that again. Because it's so beautifully done by Dave J. was the creator of that. David J. Gersten.
Days gone by, days gone by, days gone by.
And certainly in honor of Mother's Day, as the Beatles once said, let it be.